make a cross, if you save him, pick him up, so keep him going in the direction he's going because he knows where he wants to go. Don't try to turn him around and put him back. Let him, put him where. Anyway, that's what they say. So what do I know? And I did have video one time when I was working at ABC and WLS-TV in Chicago, and I think I may have told a story. We were driving along in the minicam. We saw this huge turtle in the middle of the road, right out in the middle of nowhere, huge freaking turtle. And so I got out and I said, let's get some video of this. So we're just goofing around. So they got some video of me going over there, and I had a little towel with me or something. And I think it was a freaking snapping turtle. I mean, he went and that neck went flying out. Oh my God! He looked like he was as big as a pizza. I mean, oh man!
One of the first moments of my life I remember, and I was about 7 or 8 when this happened. We were fishing in a pond across my grandfather's farm in Mississippi, and one of us pulled a snapping turtle out of the pond.
Oh man!
And he took it to the side and stomped it to death.
Oh wow!
And that was one of those moments that you always remember as a child. Like, life is different than the storybooks.
Yeah, I saw, and I'm trying to remember. I think it was my grandmother snapping the neck on a chicken to cook for dinner.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think I saw my grandfather chopping one's head clean off on a stump.
It run around. Yeah.
Because it was like 1950, so.
You know what? You grow up fast on the farm.
I tell you what, yes, you do.
Reality hits hard on the farm.
Oh, mercy. And Jeff on the board, how you doing there? What's happened? Everything new with you over the weekend? How's your life going? What's up?
No, not much. I started my garden this weekend.
Started your garden this weekend. It's Walter Reeves. Come back to I'll be damned.
Oh, Walter.
Now, do you know Walter Reeves? Do you know who that was?
Yes, I do.
Are you familiar with him, personally?
No, not personally, but he just passed.
Yeah, he just passed a couple of weeks ago. Yeah,
yes. I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah, he was a big tribute on AJC. Did a big thing about. Yeah, it was probably 2 weeks ago, maybe 10 days, something like that.
What a nice man.
Yeah, very nice man.
Such a nice
very
man.
famous. He was the gardener.
Weekends.
Yeah, he was a gardener. He was in the paper all the time with his gardening tips, and had me 50 years. I mean, he was around.
Was he the one who did Green and Growing?
Well, he was on PBS a lot.
Yeah, I can't remember.
I'm trying to think if he did the garden.
I don't.
The Green and Growing show across the street.
Probably. I mean, Walter, a very, very famous guy. And again, I used to see him in the newspaper when he had his column all the time. But he was, like public TV, and he was all over the place. And he passed away, and tributes to him. Anyway, Flounder, Mrs. Flounder, for our lovely Veronica, any happy weekend action? Well, not action. I don't want to. I'm not trying to pry into
phrasing.
Now,
I'm surprised you haven't noticed. There's a Band-Aid on my head. Me and Veronica.
Veronica. Oh God, if she finds out about this, Candace. Yeah, so
we cleaned our front porch just because of the pollen and dust and everything this weekend. So we cleaned it off, and we were hanging out there yesterday afternoon. And Lucas was out front playing, and I went to bring him in, and I was holding him, and our front door has a glass door. I opened it, and then I opened the other door, and I looked back, and
the glass door was
hit me right in the.
That's like something I do.
Yeah.
And Lucas the kitty cat, the podcat.
The podcat.
He's doing all right.
Yeah.
He's see chasing birds out there, all right, squirrels and all
chipmunks.
that. Brings you chipmunks.
Fan of bringing us chipmunks.
Oh God, yeah. Well, they bring presents.
Veronica's
I've had cats all my life.
Yeah. So.
They bring presents, they love you.
They're very proud of it.
Yeah, Look
what I brought for you.
Oh, mercy. Anyway, I know. In fact, speaking of scars on your head, I put a Facebook. I sent you guys my Facebook post I put over the weekend about the business, trying to shoot Donald Trump again, and the liberal media coming out and say, oh, this is terrible. Let's not do that. This is right. And I'm saying, you dirty freaking phonies. You caused all this. You've done, if you didn't see the rant, it's a rant out there. And I think Flounder even posted it on some other place. Where I don't know.
Got a lot of feedback.
Anyway, and I must have had 1,000. I keep scrolling and they keep reacting. So I can't even get to all the reactions on my Facebook page, on my personal Facebook page. But one of the early reactions was from a young lady whom I used to know many, like 30 years ago, who said, Kimmer, are you okay? Not really. I mean, I'm fine, but I'm really not okay. But the poor thing, because I look like crap. I mean, I told you, I keep looking like a freaking science experiment, like some kind of, lab trick or something. And plus, it was a bad, it was on my cell phone, and I'm under the lighting of the thing, and my face,
no
and
makeup.
allergies, no makeup, my ass. But again, it's just, you see every scar on my head. It's brutal. I mean.
Can we get a touch-up in here?
And I'm thinking to myself, I don't know how to ever make it any better, because that's what my phone looks at me when I'm holding it in front of my face. That's just the way it is.
You need that ring of light that the influencers use.
Yeah, or go do that Vaseline smear like they did on Barbara Streisand for all of her movies. Make it all creamy looking. Yeah, exactly. A little fuzzy around the edges just to give her 20 years back or something. Anyway, there's no hope for the giver. But I got a lot of feedback on that posting, and again, we're going to play a lot of sound bites about this whole thing, about what happened, also about the Jimmy Kimmel thing. I mean, you're going to hear a lot of it. I hope you don't get tired of it. But again, I keep thinking to myself, two things. If I were a teacher and I could get away with it, I would play things like this for my class every time it happens. And I would say, here's what happened. Here's the result of what happened. How about we do a little learning lesson to see if maybe there's a connection? What do you think about this? Is this fair? Is this right? What if it were the other party? What if we switch? I mean, what a learning opportunity. And I'll guarantee you nobody's doing that in a public school room, or even in college, probably. And the other thing was, I thought to myself, wouldn't it be, with a division because of the leftist, the hateful, violent Democrat Party turned socialist, can you imagine what it would be like if we actually taught patriotism in schools to show what it means, what it is, why it's important? What would it be like in this country if all of us, or most all of us, really loved America? I mean, what would it be like if people flew their flags and they just were happier? I think we'd just be a happier people. I don't know.
I think the fact is, and CNN helped when they were located here in Atlanta, because you got more of an outside New York and L.A. look. But now that the media is now centralized once again in New York and L.A., that's all we get, and it's all negative, and it's not America. That really is not the most of us.
It's not. Again, I wish I were a teacher that I could change them. I mean, if you just play some of these things when the kids are still learning and eager and curious, and we haven't beat them down about how beta males and, oh my God, don't show your masculinity. I mean, oh God, the whole freaking
hate
system
your skin, hate your color, hate your traditions,
and hate your
family,
country,
hate your God, hate your country, hate everything about your culture and your history and your language. They're taught to hate everything.
Yeah.
And teachers. And is this guy, is this murderer, this assassin, a teacher?
Yeah, a teacher.
What a shock.
Yeah, I can't believe it.
What a shock.
I know.
A sainted teacher.
I know. Anyway, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder and Jeff on the board, and we Firecracker, Fireball. We got to give him a new name because we got a team thing going here. Our number, we'd love to hear from you. What do you think about what happened? Also, questions on security. Seriously, the guy got in and blurred past the guy. Anyway, 404-741-1230. What do you think? Kimmer, Pete, Flounder, and Jeff on the board, and you 106.3. Happy Monday. Here we go.
The Morning Extra, Neil Bortz, and The Kimmer Show are all online for you anytime at thepodcastpark.com. Plus all of Extra's exclusive podcasts like Ben Burnett, Janelle King, and so much more. All at thepodcastpark.com. Presented by Associated Credit Union.
A golf instructor who knows technique can improve an aspiring pro's swing. But one who really cares can help transform a career.
There he is, your new champion.
When you team up with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. At Truist, we believe the same is true for banking. Truist, leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Truist Bank, member FDIC, leading based on top 10 U.S. commercial bank.
Hey, it's Front Office Los with Tom, the honest car guy. Let's talk about the new way to buy a car in 2026. Tell me how you can save clients thousands of dollars in this process.
I got a customer here, Jeff Everhart. I met him today first time because I delivered his 25 model Honda Pilot, fully loaded with only 16,000 miles on it. Jeff, answer Los's question about that one.
It was actually shocking. I mean, you hear the advertisements, you want to believe it, and then when you go through with the sale, and there's no extras, there's no dock fees, there's no storage fees, no transportation fees. The price I was given was the price that I paid plus their honest fee. I did save thousands of dollars, and it was a very quick sale.
Well, we appreciate that.
And did it from my living room.
Did it from your living room.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
Hey, it's Glenn, and I have a really important update about the housing market. If you tried to sell your home in 2025, did it sell? Maybe you were convinced that it was impossible to sell, much less buy a new home. I have some news that might interest you, and I actually get to brag a bit about my own company, realestateagentsitrust.com. Last year, my company had its best year ever. Our network agents sold more homes. We helped more home buyers than any other year in our 11-year history. In fact, we surpassed $4 billion in real estate transactions since our inception. I wish I could take credit, but I'm not the reason for the success. Working with the sharpest and most competent real estate professionals all across the country and matching them with people just like you in this audience, prospective home buyers and sellers, is the key. In short, we're successful because we're good at what we do, no matter what experts have to say about the conditions of the real estate market. The name says it all. realestateagentsitrust.com. Go there now.
And now, Deep Thoughts with Neil Bortz.
Every time you clean something, you make something else dirty.
An extra 106.3 AI exclusive.
All right, we're going to the White House here in a minute. Freddie Mercury used to wear a pair of what's called the shortest, tightest leather shorts ever. He wore them on stage. They went up to auction on this day in 2023 and sold for about $25,000. Freddie Mercury wore different garments at shows. The sold-out Birmingham gig in 1980. Shorts reference to the biography by Queen's fan club secretary came out a few years later. They didn't leave much to the imagination, he said. They had been bought by an overseas bidder, Freddie Mercury. To the White House, here's Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche on the charges filed against the guy who tried to kill the president.
Address that in a minute. It includes members of the Metropolitan Police Department who were immediately on the scene, the chief, the mayor, to make sure that law enforcement was available to do their jobs and had all the tools they needed to do so. And lastly, the United States Attorney's Office here in D.C., our U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro and her team, prosecutors stayed up all night long, didn't sleep all day yesterday, making sure that we got what we needed from all over the country. It included search warrants in California, search warrants here in D.C., multiple interviews that have been conducted already of witnesses and of family members of the charged individual, and continue to work hard today. This investigation is ongoing. It's not complete. A lot of the information that the media is hearing through leaks or sources, some of it is true, some of it is not true, and at the right time you will hear information from us as appropriate. I'd like to ask our U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro to say a few words, and then followed by Director Patel. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Attorney General. Cole Allen's journey of accountability in the criminal justice system starts today. Todd Blanche just indicated to you the charges. Those charges are only 3 charges that are in the complaint that has been presented in federal district court about an hour ago. There will be additional charges as this investigation continues to unfold. But make no mistake, this was an attempted assassination of the President of the United States, with the defendant making clear what his intent was. And that intent was to bring down as many of the high-ranking cabinet officials as he could. This is the kind of situation that we cannot tolerate. And as the Attorney General has just indicated, It could have been so much worse, but for the reality that we had the Secret Service as well as the Metropolitan Police Department and the FBI. Now, the facts make it very clear what this intent was. You may recall that it was on March 2nd that the president indicated that he would be attending this public event at the Hilton. And on April 6th, that's when Cole Allen first made a hotel reservation at the Washington Hilton for 3 nights, the 24th, the 25th, and the 26th. It was on April 21st that he traveled all the way from the West Coast, from his home near L.A. He gets to Chicago on April 23rd and has been indicated he arrives in D.C. on the 24th, and he checks into the hotel at about 3 p.m. He stays overnight. He is very much aware that the president and the first lady entered the ballroom at 8 p.m. And it was at 8:40 that he made a decision to rush the ballroom. And thank goodness, law enforcement, the Secret Service, was able to prevent him from getting into that ballroom. He was not injured other than some kind of scrape on his knee. Now, as indicated, these are the weapons that the defendant had on his person. You can see that's a 12-gauge pump-action Mossberg shotgun. It's a .38 semi-automatic. He had at least 3 knives and all kinds of paraphernalia. So any suggestion that he wasn't there to do harm is absurd. We will prove when he purchased these guns. They were purchased in California. Why is that relevant? It is relevant because he crossed interstate lines with those firearms, and those are the firearms that he used on the night of the 25th, or attempted to use at the very least. Now, the manifesto also makes clear about his expected rules of engagement. You know, you can look at it and read it, and it may seem kind of la-la-la, but at the end, make no mistake, he says, I am targeting the administration officials. They are my targets, and I'm prioritizing from the top down, the highest ranking from the lowest. And I will not hesitate to get involved in any kind of encounter with anyone who blocks me from the president. Now, finally, let me say one thing. Within days of the president nominating me to be the United States Attorney for the District of Columbia, I was at the scene of a double homicide where one Elias Rodriguez crossed state lines from Chicago with a firearm to commit a felony in the district. He's now indicted for the murder of 2 individuals, Laron Lashinsky and Sarah Milgram, here in Washington. Not long after that, another individual, Ramanullah Lockenwall, crossed state lines, again with a firearm, with intent to commit a felony here in Washington. He traveled from the state of Washington. He is now indicted with the murder of Sarah Beckstrom, a National Guardsman, and the attempted murder of National Guard Andrew Wolf. Today, we have Cole Allen, another individual, charged with crossing state lines coming from California with a firearm with the intent to commit a felony here in the district. Let this be a message to anyone who thinks that Washington, D.C. is the place to act out political violence. And if you are willing to do so with a firearm and cross state lines, we will find you. We will track your steps from the inception of your plan, and we will prosecute you to the fullest extent of the law. Washington, D.C. is not the place to travel to commit acts of violence. The Constitution and the laws of the United States permit us to register our views through our voices and our votes. What they don't permit is making your views known through violence, especially violence directed at the President of the United States. This is anti-democratic at its core.
Janine Pirro, U.S. Attorney. Well, boys, now we got the Cash Patel, FBI. So keep going here? What do you think, Pete?
Excuse me. Thank you, General.
Keep going. This
one hits
breaking
a little
news.
Differently. We were all there. Many of you were there. Many of you watching were there as well. The president was there. The vice president was there. The cabinet was there. And what you saw described by the general and the U.S. attorney is absolutely true. The president spoke on late Saturday evening with the message of unity and a backing of law enforcement, and we have followed through on that message of unity and the effectuation of law enforcement across this country. This FBI is grateful to the United States Secret Service, the Department of Homeland Security, and our interagency partners, including the Metropolitan Police Department, for swiftly jumping into action. All of us on there put us in a unique position, but all of us also acted uniquely. The Washington field office jumped into action immediately, sending a mobile command center to the scene, along with our evidence response technicians, who showed up in speedy fashion to make sure we could collect the evidence that the prosecutors and the department needed to make this announcement today. Also on scene, you were told about the brave heroics of the United States Secret Service and other members of law enforcement, and that should be celebrated by every single American. They did exactly what they were trained to do. They stopped a massive attack from becoming even worse. They stood in the way, they safeguarded America, and they should be nothing but applauded for their bravery and their dedication to their mission and their selfless sacrifice to this country. The FBI, along with standing up mobile command units, evidence tech response team, and Washington SWAT on scene, also established our NC3, our National Crisis Coordination Center, almost immediately. And almost immediately in parallel, we stood up our command center at the Washington field office under ADIC Darren Cox's leadership. Throughout the evening, we immediately began working with our Department of Justice partners to find the evidence necessary, to effectuate the legal process necessary, and enter into the suspect's room at the Washington Hilton successfully and lawfully and obtain the relevant evidence for exploitation. That was on scene. Back at the headquarters division and the Washington field office, we were coordinating a national scale investigation that literally spanned from coast to coast. As you heard, FBI agents along with the interagency were immediately dispatched to the suspect's home in California, where we conducted interviews that provided critical information about this horrific attack. We also dispatched investigators and agents to New London, Connecticut, where we conducted further interviews that provided necessary information that you will find in this criminal complaint, as the United States Attorney has just laid out. While officers were working diligently through the night to conduct those interviews, we were also conducting interviews of witnesses on scene. Those interviews are ongoing. As you know, there was almost 2,000 people there. We are sifting through and prioritizing who to talk to, and we will get to each and every one of you with any bit of relevant information. Again, we ask everybody who has any relevant information, like I did on Saturday night with the president, 1-800-CALL-FBI. Any piece of information is information we want to have and must receive.
Let's cut away. And again, I don't mean to demean anything, but if they have a Secret Service guy show up to explain how come somebody could get all that stuff in the hotel and then walk around with it and nobody knew anything and got through doorways and down hallways, well, I don't know. And again, I know just from looking at the video, and again, I wasn't there and it happened in a flash, seems to me that agents who were on the lookout for anything involving the president, since they're right nearby, would have done more than spin around and freak out for a second before he drew his gun while the guy's running away. I don't know. It seems to me that someone could have blocked him. I don't know. Again, it happened in a blur, and it's hard to. I shouldn't criticize. It just seemed to me
I think the days of telling everybody where the president's going to be is over on things like this.
Well, with what's going on now, I mean, they're still trying to kill him.
Yeah.
I mean, they're trying to kill him. They're still trying to kill the president. And it's because of the freaking media and social media. And by the way, it's also because of podcasts. You know, that freakoid who's making all the rounds now by Democrat, all they being interviewed and everything. I mean, it's, they start out with social media and the liberal media, and then they get a podcast. And then podcasts are now, that's the new link. It's not talk radio anymore. It's the podcasters where all this, like, subversive crap has been going on. It was unfreaking believable. Anyway, so, well, we got a lot more coming up here. And again, we'll bring, if more stuff happens live, we'll obviously cover it for you. And we'd love to have your comments. What do you think about what happened, where we are, what's going on? Have a comment. 404-741-1230. Kimmer, Pete's back, and Flounder, and Jeff's helping out till we go full-time Charlie here anyway on 106.3. 3:30 in the afternoon. It's beautiful, sunny, a little cooler. Could be worse on 106.3. Look out.
Get the latest breaking news and insight from the biggest conservative voices in the South. When you follow Extra 1063 across all your social media platforms, find us on Facebook, X, Instagram, and YouTube at Extra 1063.
Here today with Evan Ward from Atlas Retirement. And Evan, I know you've been quite busy in the office these days. So let's talk about some of the things folks are calling you most about here lately.
Well, Kevin, the biggest thing people are really talking about right now is retirement. And I look at retirement as a journey, not a destination. The goal of almost everybody out there is to grow and preserve a tax-efficient portfolio so they can actually enjoy their retirement. And that's why I partnered with Market Guard. I get a lot of the same questions. Evan, when do I sell? When do I hold? And if I sold, when do I get back into the market? In my opinion, that's market timing. And in my experience, market timing, it can be quite confusing. And we have to look at it and allow the math to do the work.
Everybody has a different appetite for risk. So where does Market Guard fit in?
Well, if you want asset preservation and you don't want it to go down due to market volatility, we have portfolios that are designed for this. But if you want to participate in those larger markets, Market Guard can also offer more stock and aggressive portfolios for those that are looking for that kind of strategy. And here's what I propose for our listeners today. For the next 10 callers, we're going to do a Market Guard portfolio comparison, side by side with what you're currently doing, and we'll show you how your 401k and other investments are doing. And we'll make recommendations, and then you can see the difference between Market Guard and what it can do for your portfolio. After that, you decide if you want us to do a complete retirement plan. So give us a call today at 678-736-7799 and ask for your complimentary Market Guard portfolio comparison.
Again, call Evan Ward with Atlas Retirement. That number, folks, 678-736-7799. And you can pick up your complimentary Market Guard portfolio comparison. That's 678-736-7799. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IPW, a registered investment advisor.
It's official. President Trump has endorsed Burt Jones for governor.
Burt Jones has been an incredible leader. This man has my complete and total endorsement, and I really want to see him win.
Burt Jones is a trusted Trump conservative who's leading the fight to end Georgia's state income tax.
He's going to make a great, great governor. You will be very happy, Georgia. Burt Jones has my complete and total endorsement.
Paid for by Burt Jones for Georgia.
Living with everyday pain is like having a voice that always says, no, you can't do that. No, you better sit this one out. It's no way to live. So if pain is affecting you, see how Relief Factor can help get you back to life on your terms. One where you say yes a lot more. Relief Factor is a daily supplement that fights pain naturally. Developed by doctors, Relief Factor's unique formula of natural ingredients does not just mask pain, it helps reduce or eliminate it for good. Whether it's your back, neck, joints, or muscles, Relief Factor can help you, as it has for so many others. So call 1-800-4RELIEF and give Relief Factor's 3-week quick start a try. It's only $19.95, less than $1 a day to get your life back. Just go to ReliefFactor.com or call 1-800-4RELIEF. That's 1-800-4-RELIEF. And see how you can say yes to more of everything you want.
From the latest breaking news to the conservative voices you know and trust, your best new follow on social media is Extra 1063. We're at XTRA 1063 on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Threads, and LinkedIn, and pretty much any social media you scroll through every day. And we drop exclusive giveaways, new daily content, and the latest breaking news from Georgia and across this great nation. Interact with your favorite Extra personalities. Get the latest on our live events and so much more. Follow at Extra 1063 across all your social media and keep up with Atlanta's only conservative voice.
World Jam. Through a 2009 Little Atlanta robbery. On this day in 2009, the bass player Jeff Ament was outside the Southern Tracks recording studio in Atlanta, the band recording there. Ament and the band employee arrived at the rear of the studio when 3 bad guys with knives and masks came out of the woods, smashed the windows of their rented Jeep, grabbed a BlackBerry, stole Ahmed's passport, $3,000 in cash, and more than $4,000 worth of stuff. 2009 Pearl Jam robbery here in Atlanta. I'll tell you what, let's go back to Fox News here. Fox News, Todd Blanche, acting Attorney General.
And hopefully the judges at the D.C. Circuit Court will do the right thing.
Are you aware of...
Not you, the red.
Not you, the other guy.
Are you investigating connections that Cole Allen allegedly had to left-wing groups? I think one is called the Wide Awakes, reportedly.
Yes. And of course, we're investigating that. Now you.
Are you aware of his video game development past, including a potential shooter-style RPG game?
I've seen the news reports that talk about that. I think that the positive and negatives of this type of case is that there's a lot of people investigating this man right now, including the FBI. But the only investigations that truly matter in the court of law are the ones that Director Patel and his men and women are doing. So we'll wait for them to do that and get an answer.
Follow up, just really quick. Do you know anything about his alleged Christian faith past? Because he said something about it in the manifesto.
I have read reports in the news, and I've read reports that say various things regarding his views of Christianity, his views in the past of Christianity, and I'm certainly not going to speak to news reports. I will wait, as I hope all of you would, for the investigation to continue until we actually have answers. Yeah.
Just a little technical question. You mentioned that you guys, so far, you think that Allen fired at least one shot. That doesn't say that in the affidavit yet, so I'm just curious if you can explain the discharging of weapon charge at this point.
Well, he's charged with violating 924C, discharge of a firearm during a crime of violence. So by definition, that charge means that it was discharged. I can tell you from what I know, with the understanding that we're a day and a half in, that this is the gun that he discharged.
Shotgun,
and as those of us that have ever shot one of these know, what happens when you shoot that is the casing stays inside the firearm, and then if you reload it, it pops it out. My understanding is that it was inside the firearm, but hadn't been ejected, which means that it hadn't been pulled back again. But again, I want folks to understand, I'm the acting Attorney General. I'm not on the ground doing the investigation, so I'm telling you what I've been told, and we'll, if that information changes, I'm sure that we'll let you know. Yeah.
Just want to ask you about this letter that you posted yesterday that's sent from Brett Shumate to the plaintiffs in that lawsuit. It says that the Washington Hilton is, quote, demonstrably unsafe for the President of the United States. It said that with the ballroom, that Trump will no longer need to venture beyond the safety of the White House perimeter. Just engaging with those lines, was there an assessment in advance of the dinner that the Hilton was demonstrably unsafe? And if so, why was President Trump allowed to attend it? And then separately, just the idea that by building the ballroom that President Trump wouldn't need to go outside of the confines of the White House. I mean, is that something that the American people, should find acceptable, that the president would have to be, for major events, confined to the White House? It seems like kind of a castle situation.
That is obviously not what he means by that. And the fact that question comes with respect to President Trump is laughable in the extreme. I mean, laughable in the extreme. You have a president who willingly speaks with you guys multiple times a day, I would say 7 days a week. He is active all over the country. I think with that, keeping it to the four corners of that statement, when he says demonstrably, it's demonstrated by what happened on Saturday night. So that doesn't mean that the Secret Service would ever let the president go into an unsafe environment. I know that the director of the Secret Service will be focused on making sure that we always keep him safe. And by the way, as we said before, and as anybody that was in that room knows, we were safe. We were safe. We heard a lot of loud noises that at the time many of us thought could be guns going off. It was mostly plates falling because of the staff, understandably, were running. So my reaction to that is I'll leave anything with respect to security up to the great men and women of the Secret Service. But when we talk about having an environment like the ballroom, it's an environment like what you saw last night. So an environment where you have a unique blend of cabinet members, leadership of this country, leadership of Congress, reporters and members of the public coming together for an event like that. That's different than other public-facing situations, which I have no doubt President Trump will continue to do as he said he would on Saturday night. Yeah.
Thank you. Is there, for FBI Director Patel, is there any other credible threats at this time related to events in the city, including King Charles? And then separately, the manifesto, I don't really want to give too much weight to this, did mention your name in it as someone that they maybe were not targeting. Do you want to kind of elaborate on that? And then also the political motivations there.
As to the latter, no. As to the former, the FBI and the interagency is constantly evaluating intelligence provided to us by interagency collection methods. Our partners in the federal and state and local levels, we are constantly relaying that information to the White House, to the Attorney General, to the United States Attorney, specifically here in D.C. And we will always assess each piece of intelligence and base it on the credibility that it was received and give it the due weight that it has. But as the U.S. Attorney has stated, and as President Trump's task force for Washington, D.C. has shown, we have reduced crime in this city by historic levels, and we will continue to do so. We will continue to safeguard the men and women.
You know, the only problem with Cat is all he does is brag about how great his department is, which is nice, but that's not about the freaking guy with the guns.
Paragraph 14 of the complaint today, it says that the suspect fell, and you said that he was tackled. I just want to see if we can try to make sure we understand.
Fell, tackled.
Well, I think that both can be true.
Yeah.
And I would rely on the complaint because that was sworn to by an agent and not by the words out of the acting Attorney General, who most certainly was not there. But I think both can be true.
Well, the U.S. Attorney yesterday also mentioned that one of the charges possibly would be for assault on an officer, and I noticed today it's a different charge. Is this because you've determined that what he shot didn't actually strike the officer?
We're still looking at that, and I think that's something that you'll hear about in the coming days as we know the answer to that. It doesn't legally matter in that situation, but you know, when after an event like this happens, not surprisingly, there's initial charges that we consider. Then you have the U.S. Attorney's team and the FBI looking through the evidence and figuring out what's the best thing to do, and that's what you have, right? Just one more question. Yeah.
I have two quick questions. One is,
All right, two
I
questions.
just wanted to clarify, you said the one officer fired their weapon 5 times. Was that the only officer who discharged a firearm?
I want to be very careful in answering that question because this is, when you do ballistics evidentiary collection and research, it is very complicated. So when you fire a bullet, the bullet ends up somewhere. Sometimes you find it, sometimes you don't. And so from that, with that qualifier, we believe right now that there was 5 shots fired from the same firearm. But there's a team of folks looking at this that are experts, and the evidence collection team that were in that area of the
See, if you count the
hotel
bullets,
where
not there anymore.
the shots were fired will work all night. They have the evidence they collected, but it's not an exact science from the standpoint that, for example, the buckshot, when that shot scatters everywhere, and sometimes it just disappears, actually, depending on where it hits. So you don't have to, hopefully with that qualifier, that's where we are right now.
Question about the timeline, sir.
Hold on.
I just wanted to ask what law enforcement has learned about why he was targeting President Trump. Do you guys believe he was upset about a certain policy or decision by the president?
The complaint lays out what I think is described as a manifesto, which is something that he allegedly sent to many folks, his family. That's what we have so far as his motivation. As the U.S. Attorney said a few minutes ago, what is clear from the complaint and from what we have so far is he was targeting President Trump. He described that in his manifesto. He was targeting administration officials. He described that. But as far as
Barack Putin said we didn't know the motive.
That's for the FBI.
Could have been anything.
And law enforcement. All right, thanks a lot, guys. I appreciate it.
And there we go. All right. Well, that's good. You know, again, the biggest thing to me, we've seen the video that it's almost wall-to-wall coverage stuff, which is great. We need to be knowing about this stuff. I want to know more about the Secret Service protection. And yes, they got the guy, and they didn't have. Why is he alive? Why wasn't he shot? You know, in the torso at least. I don't know. So I don't know why there wasn't a gunfight with that, and who shot the 5 bullets, and obviously he missed. So maybe I don't know. We'll find out. But that's the missing link to me is what happens with the Secret Service and what they should have done if anything. And again, it may just if you were to, and by the way, that hotel is supposed to be enormous. And so, you can't just stop everybody from staying there anymore for the, 2 days around. I don't know. Anyway, 3:45 already. Holy cow. Kimmer, Pete's back. Flounder, Jeff on the board. And you, if you want to join us, what do you think? What's going on in this country? And we'll play some of these sound bites. And again, if you didn't see my rant on Facebook and YouTube, a lot of people are doing the same thing, and for very good reason. 404-741-1230, maybe including you. 1063. How you doing?
Extra 1063 is getting ready for the 2026 midterms. And on the ballot, it's freedom versus communism. The choice is clear, and your vote matters more than ever. The future of our community and our country hangs in the balance, and the conservative voice of Atlanta will continue to fight the good fight right up to the election. Extra 1063 and the Extra app.
Join Daniel Matalon, CEO of A Second Chance Bail Bonds, and co-host Tug Cowart as they bring together law enforcement, justice insiders, and voices from every part of the justice system, victims, advocates, and people who've turned their lives around. It's not PR, it's not fluff. It's an honest talk about what's working, what's broken, and how to build a better path forward, one second chance at a time. This week's guest is Jackie the Fly Lawyer Patterson. Justice Unfiltered. Unfiltered, informed, and unbiased.
You hear bail bonds and you think one thing: someone to get you out of a jam. But A Second Chance Bail Bonds is built differently. This family-run team, led by brothers Daniel and Ryan Matalon, believes everyone deserves a second chance. And they prove it every day through the A Second Chance Community Foundation. They support local nonprofits, partner with law enforcement, and stay active in community programs, food drives, and safety initiatives. Bottom line, they don't just work in the community, they're part of it. Learn more at a2cfoundation.org. That's a2cfoundation.org.
Hey Atlanta, it's Drake Baldwin here. When I won Rookie of the Year, I thought of everyone who helped me along the way. My friends, my family, and hot showers. That's why when something goes wrong, I call Superior Plumbing. Still locally owned, Superior has been serving Atlanta for over 40 years as the go-to plumber for leak repairs, toilet replacement, and water heater installation. They don't call them the honest one for no reason. Superior's team is my MVP. Remember, there's no job too small.
Check your power bill from last summer. You want to repeat? Well, hey, it's the camera. I trust my friend Jeff at Peach State Windows. Cooling costs more than heat does, and your old windows let that heat in. Peach State Windows uses heat reflective glass to keep cool air in, the heat out. 8 premium double hung Energy Star windows installed for just $39.95. 0% financing for 12 months. PeachStateWindows.com. Here's the number: 770-485-8011. PeachStateWindows.com.
Great. Another auto repair. You took it to the dealer and now you're starting to panic. They say it's going to cost thousands and take weeks to complete. So don't fall for the tricks. Take it to Vicks. From simple oil changes and tires to transmission replacements and collision repair, you can count on Vicks Auto Care for honest, affordable service. Vicks Auto Care on Roswell Street in Marietta. Visit them today at VicksAutoCare.com. That's VIKS Autocare.com.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis.
Control is everything to me.
Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Yeah. Aerosmith had to do a little freebie for being bad. That was 2009. Aerosmith had to hold a free concert in Hawaii to placate the angry fans who brought a legal case against him for canceling a sold-out show in Maui 2 years earlier. And on this day in 2009, class action lawsuit left hundreds of fans out of pocket because Aerosmith wanted to do a bigger gig in Chicago. Aerosmith now agreed to put on a new show, pay all expenses. Everybody who bought a ticket would get a free ticket to the new one. Coming up, like Aerosmith here. That's not exactly a lady's choice. Easy to dance to. Got to put them on American Bandstand. Hey, phone calls take priority. How's it going? Swatoon, you're on the radio. Happy Monday, Swatoon. How's it going, sir?
It's another day at work. But about this guy, the FBI, I mean the Secret Service or FBI, they're shooting this guy.
Yeah.
You have to think about it that on the other side of the wall there is a conference going on. So.
Yeah, that's
the reason why.
Yeah, they all. In fact, everybody made the same point. In fact, I heard a guy who trains in this kind of thing on the show right before us, Buck and Kincaid or whatever it was, Clay and Buck, rather. And I said that when they train, if a guy's running away toward a crowd, there's no way you can shoot. If he's, you're going to scatter the bullets and something bad's going to happen. So I understand that part of it, but I kind of don't. Well, I don't know. It's just the whole thing is just strange, and how he even got there, how he got down the hallway, how he got, elevators weren't checked. People, apparently he got into the ante room before that by just flashing his ticket, and the ticket could have just been a copy. They never checked. There was no list. There was no sign with names on it to get into the area. Anyway, I don't know anything about anything, but it just seems there's a lot of questions. So.
Also, he might use that the secret technique that lots of assassins uses to get by the old security. As they run in there, he just screamed, "Look, Elvis Presley!" and everybody started looking that way, and then he just run by.
Yeah, well, it's like not Animal House, Rodney Dangerfield Back to School, where he had a chauffeur say, "Hey, Bruce Springsteen," and he left the bookstore so he could get all the books he wanted. Anyway, I love it. Swatoon, have a great day, man. Always a pleasure. At 352 404-741-1230. By the way, I've been very lax about doing a birthday list here, and I feel like I've let you down. Our birthday list includes Sheena Easton, 67. One of her big hits was a song Prince wrote for her called Sugar Wall. Oh, no, wait a minute. Is that a euphemism? Sugar Walls?
Yes, it is.
She also sang with him on her hit, You Got the Look. And it says here, they did the theme, of course, the James Bond movie, For Your Eyes Only. Didn't she do Morning Train? That was Sheena Easton, right? One, get the morning train. Remember that one? And every time I think about her name in that song, I think of George Costanza and with the Seinfeld show where the girl is carrying him because he pretended to be crippled. He hurt his leg, and so he had a girl at work carrying him down the hall, and they played this song. They took the morning work. Well, anyway, so that's what I remember. I have these flashbacks. Give me a break. Well, 3:53. And I have a little musical history thing for you here today. 1991 was on this day, and through May 10th of 1991, that Amy Grant's song, Baby Baby, was the #1 hit pop song in America. Written by Grant and Keith Thomas, it was the first single released from her album, Heart in Motion. And here's why this might be interesting. Grant became the first Christian pop singer to have a #1 single in America. Although the song itself wouldn't be officially considered a Christian song since it had no religious meaning to it, but Baby Baby by the Christian singer became the #1 Christian hit song in America ever. Baby Baby, simple love song. Grant had trouble writing the lyrics, and after looking into her daughter Millie's 6-week-old face, Amy Grant had found the inspiration she needed. The music video of the song, directed by DJ Webster, was up for nomination for Best Female Video by MTV. A remake of the song featuring Grant and Tori Kelly was released in 2016. 17 or whatever years, 27 years later, so the anniversary and everything. Whatever, math. 3:55, how's it going? Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder. 404-741-1230. 741-1230. Geez, we got so much here. I guess we'd start with some of these sound bites. I mean, I've had one of the up there. I don't know what's going on in Iran. There's some meetings were off, and now they're on. I don't know. As far as I'm concerned, just blow the crap out of everything like you said you were going to do, and that'll bring them to the 10 minutes ball game. Then they give up, we win, and that's right. And then we open up the strait, and we take over, and that's it. I mean, what the hell? Anyway, we don't need the 1st Marine Division to do this. Anyway, other things now. And by the way, coming up later, we will be talking about an AI trial, which could mean something, and how AI might also affect other things. Oh, and by the way, Pete Davis, our dream of running with the Bulls. We may want to take a second thought about that here in a second. But first, Melania Trump and both Donald Trump are now calling for ABC to fire Jimmy Kimmel over his hateful rhetoric. And again, this is, it just goes on and on and on. Melania Trump says ABC should fire Jimmy Kimmel over his hateful language. It isn't comedy. It's hateful and violent rhetoric intended to divide our country. A comment about my family isn't comedy. His words are corrosive, deepen the political sickness within America. He shouldn't have the opportunity to enter our homes every evening to spread hate. A coward hides behind ABC. He knows the network will keep running cover to protect him. Enough is enough. And cut number 9, if you will, Jeff, here's what Kimmel said a couple days before the Correspondents' Dinner.
Our First Lady Melania is here. Look at Melania, so beautiful. Mrs. Trump, you have a glow like an expectant widow.
Expectant widow, ladies and gentlemen. Wow. I mean, they shot him in the face. They tried to kill him more time. I mean, it's just, they can't stop. And it's their fault and social media's fault and the mainstream media's fault and podcasters' fault that all this hate is happening. And they, in fact, the Babylon Bee has a little comedy thing about, the Democrats have now decided to wait 5 days before they start calling Trump Hitler again.
Why would he say something like that? Why would he talk about her being a widow?
The effect of it, but again, it's not in any way. Well, I mean, hell,
why would you? That's a joke.
Yeah.
That's uncalled for at any time, but to do it right before an assassination attempt,
I know,
that would raise. If I was at the Secret Service, I'd start looking into it.
It's bizarre. It's bizarre. In fact, 8:59. Well, you're going to hear Caroline Levitt address it as well. Also, we'll have, in fact, the morning show had a great montage, which if I were a teacher, I'd play every day in school for my children to hear.
You can do the funnies after if you want to do another.
Well, you know what? What the hell? Let's play Caroline Levitt. She addressed the same thing. This is cut number 8. Caroline Levitt at the podium today about the Jimmy Kimmel slanderous comment on the First Lady.
Much of the manifesto of the would-be assassin is indistinguishable from the words that we hear daily from so many. For example, as the First Lady of the United States pointed out this morning, just 2 days prior to the shooting, ABC's late-night host Jimmy Kimmel disgustingly called First Lady Melania Trump an expectant widow. Who in their right minds says a wife would be glowing over the potential murder of her beloved husband? And having experienced what I did with the First Lady on Saturday night, I can tell you that she was anything but that. This kind of rhetoric about the president, the First Lady, and his supporters is completely deranged, and it's unbelievable that the American people are consuming it night after night after night. As President Trump said on Saturday night at this podium, we as Americans must recommit ourselves to resolving our differences peacefully and uniting around the shared values that make our country great. The deranged lies and smears against the president, his family, his supporters have led crazy people to believe crazy things, and they are inspired to commit violence because of those words. It has to stop.
That's Caroline Levitt at the podium today. And we're going to hear a lot more of her comments, too. I mean,
what if Kimmel had to put up with the crazies on the right coming after him?
Yeah.
Like President Trump has to deal with the crazies on the left. That Kimmel is basically
he foments it all. Yeah, exactly. He encourages all this.
Well, thankfully,
he stirs them up.
Jimmy Kimmel will never be that important.
Well, he's still on TV, but you're right. I mean, you're right. I think it's sure changing, but he's still on freaking television.
Johnny Carson wouldn't have got away with that.
Oh, my God. Anybody. Are you kidding?
First Lady?
Please. And again, he was funny when he had girls bouncing on trampolines, and the kid on the beach asking for a beer from a girl and take her top off. That was hysterical. Jimmy, freaking traitor, man. All right, 4 o'clock. Look at it.
The Morning Extra, every weekday morning from 6 to 10 on WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station. Extra 106.3.
Justice Department sends a message. Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Violence has no place in civic life.
Acting U.S. Attorney General Todd Blanche moments ago.
It cannot and will not be used to disrupt democratic institutions or intimidate those who serve them, and it certainly cannot continue to be used against the President of the United States.
This after a California teacher accused of opening fire outside the White House Correspondents' Dinner Saturday night was charged with 3 counts, including attempted assassination.
Make no mistake, this was an attempted assassination of the President of the United States, with the defendant making clear what his intent was. And that intent was to bring down as many of the high-ranking cabinet officials as he could.
U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro pointing to a manifesto and also noting weapons were purchased in California and carried across state lines. Blanche says a gunshot was heard as the suspect, Cole Allen, ran through a security checkpoint a floor above where the dinner was being held, and a Secret Service officer was shot in his bulletproof vest.
This heroic officer who was hit fired 5 times at Allen, who was not shot but fell to the ground and was promptly arrested.
The acting attorney general also just confirming the Justice Department is asking a court to dismiss a lawsuit against the White House Ballroom Project, citing security concerns. A preservationist group still argues Congress would need to approve the project and has declined to voluntarily drop the challenge. At the White House,
Debating, peaceful protesting, and voting are how we need to settle disagreements, not bullets.
spokeswoman Caroline Leavitt blames political violence on systemic demonization of the president and his supporters. New highs on Wall Street. The Dow not at a record, down 59 points at the bell, but the S&P and the NASDAQ with another record close. America is listening to Fox News.
Life is full of challenges, but you don't have to face them alone. At intouch.org, you'll find powerful sermons from Dr. Charles Stanley, daily devotionals, and resources designed to strengthen your faith and bring hope into your everyday life. Whether you're searching for encouragement, biblical wisdom, or practical guidance, intouch.org is here to help you grow closer to God. Discover truth that speaks to your heart. Visit intouch.org today. Thanks.
Shh, here it comes. Surprise! The people above your catering business are doing major construction, and the drilling is only during business hours. It's so loud.
Progressive knows small business owners usually don't like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting personalized discounts on a commercial auto quote with Progressive.
Also, that isn't powdered sugar on the floor. It's plaster from your ceiling.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Back off, Boogaloo. Ringo got himself married. Back off, Boogaloo. 1981, Ringo Starr got married. He married actress and one-time Bond girl Barbara Bach. They met while they were filming the movie Caveman with Dennis Quaid and Shelley Long. At the wedding included George Harrison and Paul McCartney. 1981, Ringo and Barbara got hitched. Timmer Pete and Flounder and Jeff on the board, and Pete's getting better every day. We'll have a Holy Crap at Sports. Oh, by the way, Holy Crap at Sports. Pete, are you going to be mentioning anything about the scandal involving Mike Vrabel and how it's apparently grown a little bit more, has it?
I was going to have a comment or two.
Probably
about
might
that.
mention something about the scandal that's going on. And the other thing was, I was reading about the freaking Red Sox. Are you going to mention that?
Yeah.
Oh, my God. Wait till you hear this. I mean, I can't believe it. Anyway, we got a whole bunch of sports stuff here, and the Braves are off today, but and I forgot last night what happened. Yesterday, what happened? What did they do?
They won.
They won.
They won again.
In fact, are they still the only team I think that's won every series? Is that, if I'm not
correct.
mistaken?
Yes.
Is that right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Wow. Anyway, good guys. So we got now our birthday list. I do have a birthday list. Include a little musical birthday list. Kate Pearson of the B-52s is 78 years old today. The B-52s, Love Shack, Rome, and Rock Lobster. And I know I do do this every time her birthday comes up every year, whether it's on the podcast or on the radio. And if you didn't know, you'll know now that the line tin roof, rusted. I thought it was busted. It's tin roof, rusted. Is shouted at the end of the song Love Shack is slang for being pregnant. For some reason, they had someone other than Kate shout that line about her. Anyway, Kate Pearson, 78, and that was many, many, many years ago. And on this day in history, Pete Davis, this is just for you, sir. On this day in 1913, Pete, 14-year-old Mary Fagan is found murdered in the Atlanta pencil factory. Leo Frank was convicted of her murder based on the testimony of Jim Conley and sentenced to death. The governor reviewed the sentence and commuted his sentence to life in prison. Angered by the change in sentencing, a mob kidnapped Frank from prison and lynched him. The lynch mob was said to include prominent citizens, including the former Georgia governor, Joseph Mackey Brown. Nobody was ever charged. His conviction was based largely on the testimony of Jim Conley. Others overturned in 1986 after evidence surfaced that Conley did anyway. And actually, when I did this, I was thinking about the other case that used to show up every Sunday morning in the paper about the latest of what the other case we used to follow.
The temple bombing.
Yeah. So every freaking Sunday there was Leo Frank.
It was either Leo Frank, the temple bombing, or Emmett Till.
Yeah, Emmett Till, that was the other way.
Yeah, that kept the AJC in clover for 50 years.
They had features every Sunday. They rotate every Sunday. The guy didn't have to work. Anyway, Kimmer Peden is back in better shape every single day. And Jeff's run the board, and Flautas here are having a little good time, and off we go. 404-741-1230, 741-1230. And what the hell did I go girl there? What the hell does that mean? Oh, I know. This is stupid. I'm not. I'll mention it later about the men's room. That's probably something I shouldn't say. I did put a message on Facebook, and I actually a very nice lady asked me if I was okay because I look so bad. And I actually, at one comment, I actually replied that that's just the way I look because on weekends for part-time, I rent myself out for MMA trainers to be kicked in the face. So this is the result of me getting roughed up every weekend. Anyway, a lot of comments about that. And again, you know, I dream of a time when you used to stand and say the Pledge of Allegiance in school, and it would have been, I mean, I can't imagine in a minute teachers organizing a walkout of an educational institution to go hate the Jews and pray for Palestinian children, or, you know, things like that. It's just amazing to me. Anyway, well, we're going to play. In fact, I guess I don't know why I'm stalling on it because we're playing the stuff about the freaking attempted shooting thing and the actual shooting where the Secret Service agent got shot in the bulletproof vest apparently by a shotgun pellet. And one Secret Service agent or police officer, I'm not even sure they're saying who shot the guns. One of the officials of the members of the police, one of the police agency members, one guy shot 5 rounds, and they know that those were the only rounds from a pistol fired. And the bad guy shot the police officer agent or the Secret Service agent with a shotgun pellet. But we don't know where the shells went or who did it or what the deal was. And again, running, you know, you don't shoot it. You can't shoot into a crowd. And he was running, and so maybe the guy was shooting, to try to warn them. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think they found the bullets yet. The shells. They found the shell casings, but they don't know where all the slugs went. Anyway, okay. 409. All right, let's do this. Cut number 7. This was amazing to me. I heard a couple things on the morning show concerning the comments of people who have been calling for Donald Trump to be killed, basically. But let's play cut number 7. Caroline Leavitt at the podium today, calling out the people who sparked all the rhetoric that leads to all the hate in America today. Number 7.
The entire Democrat Party has made their pitch to voters across the country that Donald Trump poses an existential threat to democracy, that he is a fascist, and that they compare him to Hitler. I mean, these are despicable statements that the American people have been consuming for years. And so many mentally perturbed individuals are led to believe these words are truth and then are inspired to act on it. I have a whole host of examples that we can share with you after. It is pages and pages of major Democrat Party elected officials saying, such as Rep. Hakeem Jeffries just this month said, "We are in an era of maximum warfare everywhere all the time." Governor Josh Shapiro said heads need to roll within the administration. Senator Alex Padilla said people are, quote, dying because of fear and terror caused by the Trump administration. Senator Elizabeth Warren, President Trump is making the country look like a, quote, fascist state. Senator Adam Schiff saying President Trump using a dictator playbook. Senator Ed Markey calling President Trump a dictator, saying that this administration's actions are authoritarianism on steroids. Governor J.B. Pritzker, never before in my life have I called for mass protest disruptions. These Republicans cannot know a moment of peace.
Yeah.
You have Rep. Presley saying, we'll see you in the streets. Rep. Monica McIver, a Democrat representative on Capitol Hill, we will not take this shit from Donald Trump. He thinks he's a dictator. We are at war.
Okay, bad word.
These are Democrat elected officials calling for war against the President of the United States and his supporters. I could go on and on, but again, when you have people in positions of power that are saying things like this every single day for years, you are inspiring violence by people who are already mentally ill. And that's what we've seen against this president for far too long.
Caroline Levitt at the podium today. Sorry about that. Are we okay on the thing? She said a bad word, which comes twice. But again, you know that. And again, by the way, she's absolutely right. I mean, she's quoting of those scumbags. In fact, let's do this. What the hell? Rub it in a little bit. How about cut number one here, Jeff? Well, this is actual sound bites of the actual people getting caught in the act of calling for people to be murdered because they don't vote the right way. Number one.
I just don't even know why there aren't uprisings all over the country, and maybe there will be.
People need to start taking to the streets. This is a dictator.
You know, there needs to be unrest in the streets for as long as there's unrest in our lives.
Democrat?
Enemies of the state.
Show me where it says that protests are supposed to be polite and peaceful.
In the Constitution,
about your dad's immigration practices, you feckless.
They go low, we kick.
How do you resist the temptation to run up and wring her neck?
The biggest terror threat in this country is white men, most of them radicalized up to the right.
I thought he should have punched him in the face. I said, even if you lost, he insulted your wife.
Yes.
He came down the escalator and called Mexicans rapists and murderers. He said, well, what do you think I should have done? I said, I think you should have punched him in the face and then gotten out of the race. You would have been a hero.
I'd like to punch him in the face. I said if we were in high school, I'd take him behind the gym and beat the hell
tough guy Biden right there.
Some people in the face.
When was the last time an actor assassinated a president?
They're still going to have to go out and put a bullet in Donald Trump, and that's a fact.
Look, as his character is stabbed to death.
These are real comments.
Where is John Wilkes Booth when you need him?
I have thought an awful lot about blowing up the White House.
There you
A
go.
Missouri state senator is under investigation by the Secret Service after saying she hopes President Trump is assassinated.
I will go and take Trump out tonight.
No,
and
that's
if you see anybody from that
face.
cabinet in a restaurant, in a department store, at a gasoline station, you get out and you create a crowd. And you push back on them.
That's a muskrat wig girl.
And they're not welcome.
California.
Anymore, anywhere.
Maxine.
And sadly, the domestic enemies to our voting system and our honoring our Constitution are right at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue.
They're not going to stop before Election Day in November, and they're not going to stop after Election Day. And that should be, everyone should take note of that on both levels, that this isn't, they're not going to let up, and they should not.
If you think we're rallying now, you ain't seen nothing yet.
There you go.
Yeah, if they would say this and do this to the President of the United States, what do you think
To
these
the
powerful
president.
people will do to you?
I mean, seriously, to the president. No fear of saying that. I mean, no fear at all. Calling for it, hoping for it, wanting it, trying to make it happen. God.
They would have us in camps and against walls as soon as they could.
Change the political party. Turn it around. If they thought all those people coming in, 15 million people from across the border, were Republicans, you'd have to show photos of you being born to get an ID.
You've been around longer than I have, but I've been following politics since I was a kid, in late 60s. I have never heard one side talk like that about the other side as violent.
Never.
Not even during the post-Vietnam and the stuff like that.
No,
I've never heard any Democratic leaders talk like that.
Never.
Ever.
Never. Insurrectionists. They're the insurrectionist party of hate and violence. I mean, it's pretty
What's
awesome.
Marxists?
Yeah.
They're Marxists.
Yeah. And they're coming after us. 4:15 already. Holy cow. Kimmer, Pete is back. Flounder, Jeff, the whole team. And everybody's fine. And the morning show had a little golf. Oh, the morning show guy called the morning show. I'll tell you about it in a second. Here. 4:15. Look, here we go. Look, I'll tell you.
Time for the Bortz Report, exclusively on Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station, Extra 106.3.
No big mystery about the topic of today's commentary, but maybe a different approach. We all know what happened. We know who was involved, but what about the reactions of some of our friends on the left? First of all, Jimmy Kimmel, in all fairness, this happened before the Correspondents' Dinner, but he did a satirical mock-up of the Correspondents' Dinner earlier in the night, in which he referred to Melania Trump as an expectant widow. Kimmel said, "Our First Lady, Melania, is here. Look at Melania, so beautiful. Mrs. Trump, you have a glow like an expectant widow." Nice touch, Jimmy. And now, a quick trip to Wisconsin and the Minocqua Brewing Company. It's owned by a Democrat politician, and they've had a running bit in their tap room offering free beer to everybody on the day that Donald Trump dies. Isn't that a nice touch? And it's the conservatives that are so violent and evil and wicked and mean and nasty. Well, after the attempted assassination on Saturday night, the Minocqua Brewing Company posted their lament on social media. They said, "Well, we almost got free beer day. Either a brother or sister in the resistance needs to work on their marksmanship, or Trump faked another assassination to get a positive news cycle. Regardless, we stand at the ready to pour free beer on the day it actually happens." Oh, and they sell T-shirts there saying, "I wish it was Free Beer Day," meaning I wish Donald Trump was dead. And before I slither off, a question. Do you think the Democrats will now allow for some funding for the Department of Homeland Security? Just wondering. Neil Bortz, Extra 106.3.
It's everyone's favorite time of the year, May in the A. The Braves have 3 exciting matchups during the month, including the Cubs, Red Sox, and Nationals. Don't miss a moment at Truist Park, including some unbeatable deals during select games, like $15 tickets, $10 parking, $3 Miller High Lifes, $2 ice cream sandwiches, and daily deals at the Atlanta Braves Clubhouse store. And along with the great deals comes great fun. Fans can look forward to 5 must-have gate giveaways like the Hawaiian shirt, straw cowboy hat presented by Visit Sarasota, and more. Plus, don't forget to arrive early on select games to participate in pregame parades and player high fives, block parties in the Battery Atlanta, kids club activities in Children's Healthcare of Atlanta Park, and so much more. Visit Braves.com/May in the A to check out the details and purchase your tickets. Atlanta Braves Baseball. We are Braves Country.
Truck Month is here, and nobody does it better than Jim Ellis Chevrolet. If you've been waiting for the right time to upgrade your truck, this is it.
Right now, Jim Ellis Chevy is stacking the savings, helping you save nearly $12,000 off MSRP on a brand new 2026 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 RST.
We're talking dealer discounts, supplier pricing, customer cash, and bonus cash, all combined to deliver serious savings.
If you qualify for additional offers like Costco incentives, you could drive your new Silverado home for even less.
Take Silverado stock number T16116. Its MSRP is $68,420. After Jim Ellis, a manufacturer discount, sale price is only now just $56,564. Just add TABT and state fee.
Anybody can advertise a sale. No one does Truck Month like Jim Ellis Chevrolet.
Shop a huge selection of Silverados ready to go. Enjoy transparent pricing and a buying process that's just fast, easy, and built around you. Shop online at JimEllisChevrolet.com or visit Jim Ellis Chevy on Peachtree Industrial just inside the perimeter. Jim Ellis Chevrolet. way. Together, let's drive.
I'm Patrick Brown, former Army Ranger in the United States Army. Like many service members, I had to make difficult choices when leaving the military, and the most challenging thing was finding purpose in a new phase of life. Housing, employment, education, way too many decisions and no idea where to start. That was until I met the Warrior Alliance. They made it simple. They listened and quickly connected me to the services I needed. And like a trusted friend, they even followed up to make sure I was squared away. Change a veteran's life today by donating at thewarrioralliance.org, helping warriors navigate to success after service.
Oh, here we go. Look out now. Look out, stand by, 420. I call smoking. Kimmer Peach back, Flounder, Jeff on the board. And David Bowie got himself in trouble. 1976. He was on a train at the Prague, the Russian-Polish border. And customs officers on the train detained David Bowie. They found Nazi books and mementos in his luggage. David Bowie claimed that the material was research. It was for research on a movie about the Nazi guy Joseph Goebbels. Yeah, it's research information, sir. So, okay, all right. Sorry. Go ahead. Appreciate it. Maybe do a concert for us or something. I don't know. I have no idea. Was he a Nazi? Does anybody know about this? Was he a Nazi or was this all nonsense? We lost Pete. Hold on a second. Did we lose Pete?
Some people collect things from history, good or bad. I mean, I think people get a bad rap for just wanting to. You got to know the bad and the good. You can't just read the good.
Yeah. And by the way, I remember as a kid. Okay, here's a weird story. I remember as a kid, I guess I was in 6th or 7th grade, and we had a kid move into our neighborhood. This is a little upstate place in New York State, and elementary school, and his name was Helmut Cook, and he was German, from Germany. His parents just came here from Germany, and he barely spoke English. He spoke, the German teaching English. Of course, this is 1956 or something, and so I they kind of assigned, I don't know why, assigned me, or they didn't assign me. They made it possible for me to, bring him home to my family after school and, kind of show him the ropes of, living in an American neighborhood and thing. I mean, it was just, he was a new kid, and we all kind of chipped in to try to help him learn English, stuff like that. And I remember that I think at his house, I think his father fought against the Nazis and has a Nazi helmet as a war memento.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have a problem with that.
They brought back flags and Lugers.
Yeah. Well, they finally cracked down on that. Why? Well, because I don't know, they didn't like it, but they were, trying to sneak back stuff from, later on in the late 60s was a little harder to do for some reason. So anyway, but I thought that was kind of weird. And I'm sure everything's fine with Mr. Bowie. All right, our birthday list. Hey, Pete Davis, you know the name Melissa Jefferson, 39 years old, a singer, a very large singer, a very large, gigantic woman of color singer. Melissa Jefferson, otherwise known as Lizzo. And one day back, what the hell year was that? Would that be like 2004 or 5, maybe?
18.
Oh, no, was that the last 19. Time I came back? Oh, okay. I'm trying to remember which radio station that was. The slimy one who stabbed me in the back and lied and cheated me and tried to get me fired.
Which one is that? That's like
good point. And one day they said, hey, there's something going on in the main, ballroom area, what they call it, the bullpen or whatever, the sales area. So we all come walking in there, and everybody in the whole freaking station's there. Must be 100 people. And there was this very large woman started singing, and that was Lizzo. And she was there because I guess 96, was it 96 Rock? I think maybe.
No,
it would have been
Star something or whatever.
Oh no, who was the Burt Show? What did he do? What was he on?
Q100.
Yeah, it was the Burt Show. People I think had her. He's one, when they stole my car account and they stabbed me in the back, they gave it to Bert instead. So, anyway.
Bert's a good guy.
Yeah, no, he's a wonderful guy. It wasn't his fault. He just, got my car, but he didn't do anything bad. Anyway, so this girl was singing, and they introduced her as Lizzo and said she's an up-and-coming new talent on the scene. No one had ever heard of her, and now she's she's huge, Lizzo.
Oh, within 6 months,
she was no time.
Massive.
Yeah, I remember talking about saying, my God, have you seen all of a sudden this Lizzo person is like a huge. She's doing fashion stuff. She's doing, costumes for large women. I mean, she made a point of dressing like a freaking Christmas tree for some of the, celebrity TV shows they had, award ceremonies and stuff. Unbelievable. She changed. I mean, my God, good for her. And she came out of nowhere. And we saw her when at the very beginning, before she was famous by far. Anyway, let's see. 425 already. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, and Jeff on the board. And let's do, we'll play some more of the Trump stuff and things going on here. And we have other stories, too. Also, Flounder handed me a story, which I think is really cool, about a letter from a truck driver for Donald Trump. And we'll get that for you also here. And saying goodbye to the last of the Ronettes. We'll get all this stuff. First of all, on this day in history, the universe is created in the year 4977 BC. It was on this day, 4977 BC, according to German mathematician and astronomer Johannes Kepler, the founder of modern science, known for his theories explaining the motion of planets. He was a German fellow, studied with the Polish astronomer Copernicus, talked about planetary ordering, and believed the sun, not the earth, was the center of the solar system, contradicting the prevailing view at the time. Kepler showed widespread research, little traction, though, during his lifetime. He influenced Sir Isaac Newton quite a bit with his law of gravitational force. Kepler did work in the field of optics, including how the human eye works. He died in 1630 in Germany. As for Kepler's calculation about the universe's birthday, again, he said it happened in 4977 BC. Scientists in the 20th century developed the Big Bang Theory, which showed that his calculations were off by almost 14 billion years. So, and by the way,
just a bit outside.
Off by 14 billion. And again, what was there before that? I'm sorry. It drives me nuts. We don't get it. What's infinity? What was here before? Who made God? I mean, you can't even wonder who made God. Until we answer that question, there is no answer. There's no way we could understand anything about the universe and what's going on.
Is there string theory? Is there not? Is there a multiverse? Yeah. Is there not? I mean...
And again, we could be somebody's dream. We could be, when you die, it may be the next thing you know, you're born again, and your entire life that you're living right now goes all over and over and over. How do we know? I mean, seriously, how do we know that was right now, and when I die in 25 or 30 years, that who's know that I don't get born again? Kim Peterson.
Pretty optimistic, aren't we?
Just a bit out.
Yeah, just a little bit. It's a lot of Christmases.
I can't believe it. I may get to see my kids 2 or 3 more times.
More importantly, this what's Jeff eating in the production room there? I just saw him eat something. What you got there, Jeff?
I didn't know. What do you got there, Jeff?
I bet it's the cookie.
Mouthful of Kimmer cookie.
Oh, was it still cold enough, or you don't like them cold? I'm guessing.
No, that's good. It's fine.
Okay. All right. I definitely brought. I bring the staff Kimmer's chocolate cookie. And by the way, it's driving me crazy because I almost had to cook them every night. Because
something to do.
It's traditional.
Yeah, what else am I? What else have I got going?
One of the great things happened after 3 years of not having it. They brought a sheet cake, which is like a birthday cake, from Rhodes Bakery in Snellville, which is the best bakery in the world.
That's a famous bakery.
What's it called?
And I took a chunk home. Rhodes Bakery in Snellville. It's the best bakery for birthday cakes ever. And they brought a sheet cake to the communion thing. And they let me take a big part of it home. Excellent. And I'm telling you, you get that chocolate almond ice cream from Mayfield. Oh, it's perfect. Just perfect.
Yeah. Wow. I remember.
I'll get some now.
I remember, speaking of Mayfield ice cream, I remember when I was on, when I get on my things, I haven't had ice cream in months. But for a long time, for months, every night I had ice cream, period. I had 3 different kinds in a bowl, a little bit of each, at least 3 different kinds for months every night.
Mayfield's got a new one I saw called Smoky Mountain Fudge or something.
Really?
It's chocolate with fudge bits and crunched up cookies like Oreos in it.
Huh. What's the Smoky Mountain part, I wonder? You got like squirrel meat in there, maybe, or a little furry tail of meat? Or, anyway, possum. 429. Holy cow, holy cow, holy cow. All right, we got a whole bunch of stuff. You're going to hear Donald Trump quite a bit. In fact, you know what? I'll do this and leading into the news and a break. This a letter from a truck driver to Donald Trump. I don't know if you ever read this, Mr. President. Probably not, but I'm writing it anyway because my wife and I talk about it all the time. We can't wait for the day when you're no longer president. Not because we're tired of you, the opposite, because you deserve to go home. You deserve quiet mornings. You deserve to sit on your own porch without the weight of 330 million people sitting on your shoulders. You deserve your family back. You deserve peace. You didn't have to do any of this. You had the money. You had the name. You had the life most men only dream about. You could have spent the rest of your days golfing, traveling, watching your grandkids grow up. You stepped into a fire instead that nearly cost you everything. They mocked you. They sued you. They raided your home. They tried to bankrupt you. They tried to lock you up. They dragged your wife and kids through the mud. They put a bullet through your ear, and you got up with your fist in the air and kept going. For what? For us, regular people, truck drivers, welders, waitresses, roughnecks, farmers, single moms working 2 jobs, grandparents on a fixed income watching the country they built get handed away. You didn't know us a thing, and we gave you everything. You risked your name, your legacy, your safety, your family's safety, your brand, your freedom, all of it. So this country could have one more shot at being what it was supposed to be. And the truth nobody wants to admit, we didn't deserve a president like you. A nation this divided, this ungrateful, this asleep at the wheel, didn't earn a man willing to bleed for it. But God sent you anyway, and I'll thank him for that one day when I die. So when the day finally comes that you walk away from that desk, I hope you sleep well. I hope your wife laughs again without looking over her shoulder. I hope your kids breathe easy. I hope you golf till the sun goes down and nobody bothers you for nothing. You earned every bit of it. Thank you, Mr. President. From a truck driver in Texas who prays for you often, God bless you, God bless your family, and God bless the United States of America. Kimmer, Pete, Flounder, Jeff on the board. 431. Happy Monday. 1063. Other than that, how you doing today? What a country. Look out.
Your favorite Extra shows are streaming live video from the studio on Extra 1063's YouTube channel. Subscribe to the Extra YouTube channel and get the Morning Extra and the Kimmer Show in live digital video.
Hey, this is Lowe's with Terry from Alpharetta, who just purchased a new car with the Honest Car Guy, the new, fully transparent, honest way to buy your next vehicle. Terry, tell us about your experience.
I have a son serving in the military. He's active duty with limited time to look for a car. My son was looking for a used Hyundai Veloster, and I had heard about the Honest Car Guy on the radio, decided that that might be a route to go, and we made a phone call over the weekend. He screen shared the information with us. We looked over the vehicle, and he took the reins from there, and they were able to walk us through the process of buying the car. We're very clear and transparent, and next thing we knew, we had a car in the driveway.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
Welcome to Collins Hill Golf Club. Located only minutes between Georgia 316 and I-85 in Lawrenceville, lies one of Northeast Atlanta's best fun and affordable golf courses. A beautiful traditional layout with small undulating greens and narrow tree lines, and a new pond restoration project that will enhance the beauty and playability of the course. Collins Hill offers a wonderful challenge for every skill level. But golf is just the beginning of what you'll find at Collins Hill Golf Club. The clubhouse is the ideal place for members and guests to relax. The staff at Collins Hill is another key asset to the club. There is always something going on at Collins Hill Golf Club. Interested in competitive golf tournaments locally? Join the Collins Hill Men's Golf Association. Annual membership includes a golf tournament happening every month. Visit collinshillgolf.com for information. That's collinshillgolf.com.
Time now for the Retire Wise Report. James Parker here with financial advisor Sean Maloney, founder and CEO of Retire Wise. So when we go through days or weeks of volatility in the market, Sean, it's hard to know what to do. What can you tell us?
The biggest thing is don't panic or make immediate decisions with your money. Take those emotional concerns out of the middle of it. Look, markets cycle regularly. Market corrections and bear markets are a normal part of the cycle. They're just part of the plan that are going to be accounted for. If you feel nervous when you read the headlines about big drops in the market, you might not know enough about how your money is positioned. That's why it's important to get the right guidance on a financial plan for your retirement.
Tell us about the offer you have for our listeners.
All right, so now's the time to start, folks. Looking ahead and identifying if you have too much risk in your portfolio. That's the first thing. We have a helpful little resource for our listeners today. We call it the Retire Happy Framework Toolkit. You can get it today by calling or texting WISE to 770-802-2200. My team helped put together this just for you, and it's a complimentary guide. And the center of this is a copy of my latest book, The Priority of Retirement, plus guides on major topics like investments, Social Security, income planning, taxes, and so forth of the key components of retirement. So if you want to get this information in your hands today, call or text WISE to 770-802-2200. That's 770-802-2200.
Take advantage of this offer and get your Retire Happy Framework today. Just text WISE to 770-802-2200. The team at Retire Wise will get you your Retire Happy Framework to you right away. So just call or text WISE to 770-802-2200. Investment advisory services made available through AE Wealth Management, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Investing involves risk, including the potential loss of principal. Firm does not provide tax services.
Right now, new car prices are out of control. Yes, it's more affordable to buy a used vehicle, but can you really trust what you're getting? That's why I use VIX Auto Care. VIX can perform a pre-purchase inspection of the vehicle I'm thinking about. They'll check it out from top to bottom, so I know if there are any potential problems. VIX helps me make the right decision. So before you buy, give VIX a try. VIX Auto Care on Roswell Street in Marietta. Visit them at VIXAutoCare.com. That's VIKS Autocare.com.
All right, now just, there are a lot of times where
the Kimmer Show
like one major topic.
Let's check in with Pete.
And a lot of people try to...
Stories prepared versus stories actually covered.
Get an order of everything.
You do have some cover today because of the major story.
Ugh.
But then again, you did send 12 stories.
All right. I know. I tried to ease up.
Full well, you wouldn't get to most of it.
I don't even wake you up anymore. I've laid a little bit later on. And eventually, I'll go back to waking you up at 5:30.
Yeah, so you just make more work for yourself.
I know. It is more work for me.
Basically. It's
I have to now take pictures individually of the stories I sent Flounder that I sent. I know. That's not good.
You have done 3.
3 out of 12. Well, golly. That's not going to get me to the old Hall of Fame. I was so hoping to be elected one year,
Nothing will. Hey, did they take this new Hall of Fame? Did they throw out all the names from the old one?
That's a great question. I don't have any idea. It used to be
some people saying not everybody's in the second one that was in the first one.
Wow. I'm not even sure what it is now. It used to be isn't it the Georgia Radio Hall of Fame? But then it's changed. And now is it the broadcast?
Well, it's now called April's Georgia.
Yeah,
Radio
which month we talking about? I don't know. Yeah. Anyway, the very idea.
I know of a radio hall.
But plus, for some reason, nobody has ever remembered anything about me ever in this business. I mean, you'll see things popping up on social media where the guys at GST will get together for a reunion, and the guys over here get together for the so-and-so.
I can top you that. But Parkview is having a 3-year thing. The first 3 years it was in existence, of which I was there for 2 of them. Okay, I have never been invited to any reunion. And And they're doing a big 3-year one.
It's no big deal. It's just kind of funny.
No mention.
No, that's a good deal. Anyway, Kimber Pete's back doing better and better. Jeff's helping us out on the board. Founder here, of course, with us as always. And a little birthday thing. And this was amusing. If you missed us last week, we had a little fun with this. Cory Booker, the Fist of Spartacus, is 57 today. Cory Booker, last week, he was caught screaming on a microphone, screaming, when the audience, he was in Michigan campaigning. They had a forum in Michigan for all the people, all the Democrats who wanted to run for president, basically, early, and so he was showing up. And he started screaming when they offered him, Michigan offers you a lending hand to help your campaign. And he was screaming, I won't do it, but he was screaming out, I don't want a Michigan hand, I want a Michigan fist. I want a fist. I want a fist. And I'm going, oh my God. And Jesse Kelly was, had a little fun with that. And so Cory Booker, the Fist of Spartacus, is 57 years old today, the birthday boy. And I'll bet he's looking forward to the cherry on top.
Fisting.
Aren't fists supposed to be for either punching somebody or holding something really tight in your hand? Isn't that like the two things? Okay.
We need
on this day in history, 1996. An important marriage day. 1996, Robin Wright married Sean Penn. It lasted 14 years, and then they broke up. Robin Wright and Sean Penn, 1996. Same day, 1996. The Playboy playmate Shauna Sand married Lorenzo Lamas, the famous singer and entertainer. That was 1996. They unfortunately divorced after 5 years because she was caught sleeping with his 18-year-old son, which is apparently that wasn't allowed in the culture of the particular marriage ceremony. Anyway, that was some bad news here. All right, 440. Kimber, Pete, and Flounder, and Jeff on the board, and everything's fine. 404-741-1230, 741-1230. Oh, I also posted on Facebook. Have you seen, I think I sent it to you guys, the commercial, well, actually two commercials, the governor's commercial. This is really getting interesting, I'll tell you that. But I've never seen this before. And just as an old-timer, I don't like the idea that the public gets to vote on who should be on the state Supreme Court. That seems way too important to me, which is why Virginia is probably going to have allow to change their voting districts so they have 10-1 Democrat to Republican, because the Virginia Supreme Court's stacked because the voters vote for it as opposed to lawmakers who then have to go through hearings and all that kind of stuff. I know, it's just my opinion. And again, everybody, it's common. But here in Georgia, you run for election, therefore you see commercials for people running for the Supreme Court of Georgia, which I think is tacky. And this one popped. I put it on Facebook and YouTube, and it's a commercial where it shows these three angry white men, and they're sitting behind a desk, and they look like they're white men, and they're just sitting there. And the music starts playing, and now it's Rebecca Bing Bang and Lori Ring Rang, and here we are, the two ladies running together for the Georgia Supreme Court. Running together? It's two of them. Hey, it's two mints in one. It's the black girl here and the white girl there. Da 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 da. Vote for the both of us because by golly, we'll do a job for you. Oh, there you go. But it's a twosome. Have you ever in your life seen any political commercial, especially for the Supreme Court of any state, where two girls are standing side by side saying, you need to get us on the Supreme Court?
So they can take over the court.
Now, maybe, I don't know. How am I supposed to know if they're the greatest lawyers who ever lived? If they're the greatest lawyers who ever lived and they're both conservatives, fine by me. But again, just the whole very idea of it. Two girls, all happy and smiling, standing next to each other. And, yeah, Supreme Court, hey, ho, here we go. Instead of those old white men, yeah, huh. And I thought, God, how tacky. You're supposed to run for the Supreme Court. You're supposed to be the brightest legal minds in the state. And you have to do this, dog and pony. I mean, it's just embarrassing. It's just tacky to me. I feel bad about it. Yeah. Were you saying something? I interrupted you?
I think Flounder may have said something.
I'm sorry.
Finish your thought.
The other commercial I've seen, they got a new one now where the two commercials I've seen the last few days for governor, one of them has Rick Jackson and Burt Jones with semi-automatic weapons. They look like M16s, and they're shooting in the sky, shooting everything in the world, and acting like idiots. And then you see Brad Raffensperger, who has a shotgun and properly shoots a skeet out of the sky, showing that he's the one to be trusted as opposed to those maniacs shooting those guns off. And now the new one is where there's Rick Jackson and Burt Jones are fighting each other with pugil sticks. Do you know what those are? Pugil sticks are those long wooden sticks, and they have padded ends on both ends. A big pad, and you knock each other in the head with them. They're used for fighting in the Marine Corps, for training on bayonet fighting, stuff like that. And you can,
American Gladiators.
Yeah. Well, there you go. That's what they're pugil sticks. They use them and used to use them in the Marines, and I don't even know whether they still do. Anyway, so he's got those two guys fighting with pugil sticks, and then. Now, I forgot how he comes to save the day. Raffensperger, once again, showing them that they're silly, and he's...
Okay. Guess what I found out over the weekend? Talked to a gentleman who's in the Republican Party here in the state and says that they are actually fighting to keep Raffensperger off the Republican ballots because they don't consider him a Republican anymore.
Well, after what happened, again, the last election, again, I'm actually purposely... not inviting political candidates to come on the show because it's all the same. They tell how wonderful they are and what they're going to do and how they're going to accomplish it, and they have a great record. I mean, it's just, so good for them, but it's not talk radio for my show for what I want to do. But again, with the Raffensperger thing, still has kind of the taint, if you will, of the last election.
Yeah, the 350,000 votes that were...
of course he does.
Certification, and he was the guy. So,
he's a rhino.
Well, I think that's what's going to be the issue, and that's why he's trying to show
the lowest form of a rhino.
Well, and he's trying to show that those two guys are wild maniacs.
He ain't got a chance. He's over.
Yeah, I would think so. But again, I'm not.
It's over. He's out of it. Yeah.
Well, and honestly,
time to go home, Bradley. Time to go home.
I am very excited about what's liable to happen this summer. And I keep hearing people say, "Well, they got something on Rick Jackson's. You don't know all about Rick Jackson." I'm going, yeah, he's a tough businessman who makes decisions.
No, he needs to answer this question. Why, more than once, including recently, did you give money to John Ossoff?
Oh,
Simple
Rick Jackson
question.
did?
Why?
Yes. Yeah.
Campaign contributions to John Ossoff and his,
I'd heard that from, and that was the first election, 6 years ago or something, right? Or 5 years, whatever it was. Yeah. Or, it must have been. No, I can't be that long ago.
That's recently.
It had to be the last.
Yes.
Oh. Well, that is the question.
You got an insider in Burt Jones. And you got the outsider. So you got to make a decision which one you're going to go with, because they're the only two that are probably going to win.
Yeah. Well, I think something's going to happen over the summer. I bet there's something secret that's going to be coming out, because they're certainly starting. Anyway, that's 446, everybody. Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder, and Jeff on the board, 404-741-1230. And hope everything's fine. And it's a Monday, and join us if you like. Braves are off, but they'll be back and in town. And I forgot who they're playing coming up. Detroit or something, isn't it?
Yeah,
Tigers tomorrow.
Tigers tomorrow.
All right, Kimmer, Pete, and Flounder and Jeff on 106.3. Here we go. Don't go away.
You've been warned. If the Dems win the midterms, the border opens back up. Impeachment comes down, and you get more riots in the streets. Now's the time to hunker down and vote red. Count on Extra 106.3 to bring you the stories that matter from the most trusted voices in the country. Proud to be Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Opioids can start as a prescription for pain, but misuse can happen quickly, and addiction doesn't discriminate. It can affect anyone. Take medications only as prescribed. Never share them, and store and dispose of them safely. If you or someone you love is struggling, help is available. Call or text 988 for the Suicide and Crisis Lifeline. Prevention starts with awareness. Learn more at GeorgiaOpioidHelp.org. Sponsored by the Georgia Opioid Crisis Abatement Trust.
Quick question. Are your tires ready for spring rain? If your tread is worn, traction drops fast on wet roads, and stopping distance can increase when you need it most. Right now at Marietta Toyota, they can take care of you because it's the Toyota Tire Savings Event. Buy 3 tires and get the 4th for just $1. Get the right tires for your Toyota, installed by factory-trained technicians with road hazard coverage included on eligible tires. Toyota Tire Price Match is available, plus top brands and additional rebates that may be available. Voted Best of Cobb, Best New Car Dealership, Best Dealership Service Center for 2026. You can trust the work. Offer ends April 30th. We're right where we've always been, Cobb Parkway South, just north of Truist Stadium. Marietta Toyota since 1975. We've been here and we'll be here for you.
Restrictions apply. Valid on participating brands. Fourth tire of equal or lesser value. Offer ends April 30th, 2026. See dealer for details.
Hey, this is that Rick Jackson spot.
Too often, criminal illegals commit sick, violent crimes. Do that when I'm governor, and you'll end up deported or departed.
Dang. I know, right?
What do you have, sugar? I'll take the meatloaf and Rick Jackson for governor.
He's something, ain't he?
He's tough. Yeah, no tolerance for criminal illegals, no DEI.
No covering up for do-nothing career politicians either.
You know, Jackson came from nothing and built one of the biggest businesses in Georgia.
Now he wants to cut the income tax in half and freeze property taxes.
Yeah, but not for deadbeats.
Listen, I love this part.
No more free rides for people who refuse to work. You want to sit on your butt, binge watch Netflix, and scarf down Cheetos? Do it with your own money.
Be still my heart.
Bingo.
Amen to that.
Rick Jackson for Georgia, not a career politician. Paid for by Jackson for Governor, Inc.
There we go. 10 before 5 already. Holy cow. Kimmer, Peachback, Flounder, Jeff on the board there. Oh, my. This was a Grateful Dead, I guess. 1971, my daughter Jennifer was a deadhead back when she was actively using cocaine and heroin. She's been clean for 23 years as a role model. God bless her. Anyway, she followed the Deads around. In 1971, the Grateful Dead appeared at the Fillmore East in New York City. The Beach Boys also appeared on stage with the Dead, and together they performed a set of Beach Boys songs. 1971. Anyway. Hey, phone calls take priority with the Kimmer, Pete, Jeff, and Flounder. It's Rick the Painter on the radio. Rick, how's it going? Happy Monday, man. What's up?
Hey, happy Monday, Kimmer. Hey, the teacher told her third grade class that she was going to quiz them on their math skills.
Their math skills, all right. Yeah.
Yes, sir. She wanted to see how they were progressing. And so she said, Billy, if in your pants pocket, if you have $10 in one pocket and if you have $10 in the other pocket, what do you have? He said, I have somebody else's pants on because we ain't got no money.
He got no money. Somebody else's pants, ladies and gentlemen. Whoa, hey, I thought he was going to say he got a hooker for the weekend. See, my mind was a total different direction. Yes.
I recently sold my vacuum.
You sold your vacuum? What? I mean, I can't believe it. What,
Well, it was just sitting there collecting dust.
Collecting dust, ladies and gentlemen, because otherwise it wouldn't be having any effect at all in your life. Where did we go wrong? I got to love it. How you doing? What's freaking Monday? Give me a break. We got all this Donald Trump again. God, these freaking liberals. And again, to say, well, we need to cut the political violence. Yeah, you caused it, you scumbags. All right, anyway, hold on. I didn't do a birthday yet. This is a little hottie. In fact, I'm surprised. I'm going to say a couple things I was surprised. The birthday list is Emily Rios. Emily Rios is 37 years old. To me, she's hot. She's very cute. She's kind of rough looking, kind of tough looking around the edges. And maybe that's because of the movie the series she was in. Emily Rios played one of the drug tough girl chicks in Breaking Bad, and also in that series Snowfall. Remember? Did you watch Snowfall?
No.
You didn't? That was a great series. I really enjoyed it. I thought that, I think it ended kind of funny. I think it had a bad thing, but I never missed it. And she was in both of those. A tough chick, kind of a drug chick, and I think there was like a family child thing that was ended very badly. Anyway, Emily Rios, 37, and on this day, on this day in history, 1953, President Dwight David Eisenhower signs an executive order banning homosexuals from serving in the federal government. 1953. 5,000 federal employees were fired under suspicions of being homosexual. It was 5,000 of them? What was the test, I wonder? It was suspicious of being homosexual. It was in response to the belief that homosexuals posed a security risk due to their susceptibility to blackmail. This was part of what became known as the Lavender Scare, in which homosexuals were targeted for discrimination by the federal government. The order's language restricting national security access based on sexual orientation from 1953 was repealed in 1995 by President Bill Clinton, and the order was explicitly repealed in 2017 by America's first gay president, Barack Hussein Putitat Obama, the only president who actually hates his country. And everybody knows it. And he loves it that way. Anyway, Kimmer P. Flounder Chef, we got the whole crew. 455, 404-741-1230, 741-1230. We're back to Donald Trump. On 60 Minutes, you know, the guy keeps showing up. Donald Trump on with that hideous CBS correspondent Norah O'Donnell, 60 Minutes. And we're going to play cut number 3 here, if you don't mind, Jeff. Donald Trump lashing out at her Sunday night after the gunman had that massive manifesto business, and she started talking about it, and Donald Trump was none too happy. Cut number 3.
So-called manifesto is a stunning thing to read, Mr. President. He appears to reference a motive in it. He writes this, quote, administration officials, they are targets. And he also wrote this, I'm no longer willing to permit a pedophile, rapist, and traitor to coat my hands with his crimes. What's your reaction to that?
Well, I was waiting for you to read that because I knew you would, because you're horrible people, horrible people. Yeah, he did write that. I'm not a rapist. I didn't rape anybody.
Do you think he was referring to you?
Excuse me. I'm not a pedophile. You read that crap from some sick person. I got associated with all stuff that has nothing to do with me. I was totally exonerated. Your friends on the other side of the plate are the ones that were involved with, let's say, Epstein or other things. But I said to myself, you know, I'll do this interview and they'll probably, I read the manifesto, you know, he's a sick person, but you should be ashamed of yourself reading that because I'm not any of those things.
Mr. President,
and I was never, excuse me, you shouldn't be reading that on 60 Minutes. You're a disgrace. But go ahead, let's finish the interview.
The other thing that he wrote in the other thing in the manifesto.
Absolutely disgraceful. And again, she picked out that part to deliberately embarrass the president. She didn't have to use that part of a manifesto for anything.
That's why she did it.
Did it on purpose.
Mm-hmm. You were trained as journalist, so was I. That's exactly why she did it.
You know, there's one thing. If you're, I mean, one of the great tricks is to ask a question that gets the answer you're looking for. You're trying to get an answer out of somebody, so your question is designed to get the answer you're looking for,
and to be as inflammatory as possible.
Yeah, but that's back to days where the reporter's question wasn't part of the answer. It was just, you know, the anchorman says, here's, you know, this. All of a sudden now, where they're doing conversations, then you can see the duplicity of what they're trying to do to try to embarrass their guest or their interviewee. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's a whole different thing now than just using the answer you wanted. Now they're including the question, and it shows that their duplicity. I mean, freaking disgraceful. Seriously. Unbelievable. Anyway, let's very quickly, cut number 6, when she asked about this King's movement going around for the liberals. Number 6.
He had attended a No Kings protest in California.
No Kings. Yeah.
What did security tell you about what may have been his motives?
The reason you have people like that is you have people doing no kings. I'm not a king. What I am, if I was a king, I wouldn't be dealing with you.
That's right, Nora.
There'd be people lined up in prisons.
That's right. What a joke. How about Flounder's Funny here, Jeff? What do you think? Little When
my kids act up, you know what I do? I have them do a gratitude list. Anyone here do a gratitude list daily? If you don't know what it is, it's when you make a list of things you're grateful for, so you approach the day with a positive mindset instead of walking around being like, why don't I have a Ferrari? The other day, my daughter was acting up, and I go, sit down and do a gratitude list. She's 9. She looks at me, she goes, I don't know what to write. And I go, how about legs? Do you like your legs? She was like, what else? And I go, how about eyes? Do you like seeing things? Those are two things we take for granted the most. We get up, we walk around, we see things. We never wake up and like, oh, I'm so grateful to have these legs and these eyes. Well, I went to Disneyland, and I was walking through the gift shop, and I saw a woman walking with her daughter, and she was 13, and she was blind, walking with a cane. And all I could think to myself is, how lucky is this woman that her daughter's not going to ask for her to buy anything?
Oh, man.
She could think she's in a hallway. She doesn't know.
In a hallway.
I was like, why even take her to Disney? Pop her in a Jeep, drop the top, hit a couple speed bumps, tell her it's Magic Mountain. What are we doing? I can make that joke because I have a gratitude list.
He's like that. Who's that guy that I like? That every single joke he does ends in some horrible twist around. Joked about his grandmother dying.
Anthony Jeselnik.
Yeah, Anthony.
That was Jay Larson.
Yeah, he's a funny guy too. And again, I love those little turnarounds. You know, it's sick, but it's fun. You can't help but laugh, and it's funny. And by the way, there's nothing wrong with laughing at something that's funny. It doesn't mean you're a bad person. It's freaking
joke.
comedy. Yeah, lighten up, Francis. It's coming up on 5 o'clock already. Holy cow. Kimmer, Pete, Flounder, Jeff on the board. 404-741-1230. 741-1230. Oh, the Killer King and Queen Homewrecker are in Washington right now. Be meeting with the president. Is welcoming him right now at the White House. Oh, the Killer King and the Homewrecking Queen. Oh, saluting the British royalty. Yes. At 5 o'clock. Yes.
Show is live on your ride home on WFOM and W292 EV Marietta on Dickey Broadcasting Station, Extra 106.3.
A third attempt to kill the president. Lisa Brady, Fox News.
Cole Allen's journey of accountability in the criminal justice system starts today.
U.S. Attorney for D.C. Jeanine Pirro, as a California teacher, is charged with attempted assassination of the president and 2 gun counts, with more charges expected over Saturday's shooting outside a hotel ballroom where the White House Correspondents' Dinner was being held. FBI Director Kash Patel commending the quick response of the Secret Service and multiple other law enforcement agencies.
They did exactly what they were trained to do. They stopped a massive attack from becoming even worse. They stood in the way, they safeguarded America, and they should be nothing but applauded.
Investigators say the suspect had reserved a room earlier this month, traveled cross-country by train, and checked into the hotel Friday, arrested after trying to run past a security barricade where a Secret Service officer was shot and saved by a bulletproof vest before opening fire on Allen, who was not hit. As that investigation continues, so will a review of security protocols. But White House spokeswoman Caroline Leavitt says the president is undeterred.
He does not want these deranged lunatics and these grave acts of political violence to change our American way of life. And I think it's a very brave thing for him to say. It'd be very easy for him to just hunker down here at the White House where he knows he's safe, but the president wants to be out across the country.
The administration also making a renewed push for the president's White House ballroom project, citing security concerns and asking a court to dismiss a lawsuit. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries.
The defendant should be prosecuted to the full and complete extent of the law.
He says political violence directed at anyone is unacceptable. Britain's King Charles also undeterred by the shooting, just arriving at the White House with Queen Camilla for the first of several events this week. America is listening to Fox News.
Life is full of challenges, but you don't have to face them alone. At intouch.org, you'll find powerful sermons from Dr. Charles Stanley, daily devotionals, and resources designed to strengthen your faith and bring hope into everyday life. Whether you're searching for encouragement, biblical wisdom, or practical guidance, intouch.org is here to help you grow closer to God. Discover truth that speaks to your heart. Visit intouch.org today. That's intouch.org. Thanks.
Shh, here he comes. Surprise! The people above your catering business are doing major construction, and the drilling is only during business hours. It's so loud.
Progressive knows small business owners usually don't like surprises because they cost you money. But a good surprise that could save you money? Getting personalized discounts on a commercial auto quote with Progressive.
Also, that isn't powdered sugar on the floor. It's plaster from your ceiling.
Surprise yourself. See if you can save in as little as 8 minutes at ProgressiveCommercial.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discounts not available in all states or situations.
Hey, Get it together, ladies. Left shoulder. Right of leg. Ready on your dog target. Hair. Billy. Road guards out. Look out. It's only me. It's only the giver with Pete Davis getting better every day. Flounder in the house and Jeff on the board, and all is right with the world. 404-741-1230, 741-1230. Holy crap, it's sports coming up. And we got a lot of weird freaking stuff going on in sports, man. The scandals and weird mass thing. Oh, it's so bizarre. So it'd be kind of fun. Anyway, again, so here we go. 404-741-1230, 741-1230. More about the Donald Trump thing. And again, I can't wait to get information about the Secret Service and what they're looking at, and I think we all know what they're looking at. Again, they've been bragging, and rightfully so, that nobody got killed, and they subdued him. I don't know why he wasn't shot. I don't know what happened between the time we saw the blur and when we saw the blur of him running in the video, running toward the ballroom, and what we see is the Secret Service agent spinning away, and then pulling his gun out, which is what he should have done. But again, everybody has been saying that there's no way he would have been able to fire at the fleeing guy in a crowd of people, and also the doorway. A bullet would have gone through the doorway if he was close to where the door was. I don't know what happened between the time when we see the agent pulling his gun and then start rushing to the right, rushing into your screen to the right part of the screen, between that point and the guy on the ground. I don't know who tackled him. I don't know what happened. I don't know why he wasn't shot. How is it possible he wasn't shot? Whoever tackled him had to have a gun. It had to be a police or a Secret Service agent, a deputy of sheriff or somebody. So again, I don't know what happened. I don't know what led to it. I don't have the information. I don't know how the hell he got in there with all that stuff. I don't know how he got down the hallway to get into the area in the beginning in the first place. Again, he had checked in as a guest. And he was, and he apparently had this stuff hidden on him. He had a pistol and knives and a foldable Mossberg shotgun. But what if he had a suicide vest? What if he had a bomb? You know how much plastique he could have had in a shoulder inside vest under a shirt or a jacket or something?
I want to know what he was teaching his students.
Yeah, I'd love to hear. I wonder if they're going to talk to the students. I bet the school is probably going to keep media away. But wouldn't it be, I'd love to hear from other teachers and other people, and whether he is, a typical student, the modern liberal union leader in his local school, and what he was like.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks at what they describe him as just a regular Democrat. Well, regular Democrats want to kill Donald Trump.
Yeah, he is. He is a regular Democrat.
They really do.
They're nuts.
They really do. Well, I don't know. Again, we're trying to put a nut on this. I don't understand what happened to the American Democrat Party or to the political system, for that matter. Well, I do know it's this freaking thing, the cell phone and social media. Oh. And again, it all starts. All of a sudden, the news. Radio, news talk, news programs are way different in impact now than they ever were before. And what's happening now, especially with that maniac who's, the New York Times just did a big essay on this guy. They start on social media and it clicks on the cell phone and laptops and stuff, and all of a sudden they get a podcast and off they go. And now this is where we saw the change in the election when Donald Trump started going on podcasts with, teenagers. And it made a huge difference. And now we're getting all this hate stuff. And they're just, assuming it's just part of the new podcast formats that we go on and talk about how much we hate Donald Trump. It's just astounding to me. And I don't know what to do about it. There's nothing you can do about it. FCC's got nothing to do with podcasts. Anybody can do a podcast. We didn't have. You didn't have to get anything. We didn't have to go to court or call the FCC.
We shouldn't either.
Yeah, we shouldn't have to.
Speech.
Right, exactly. So, but again, so that's the issue that we ought to be freaking aware of it. And I'd love to know. I think that's a great question about him in school. I'd love to know what he was like as a teacher, what he was teaching, and besides the lesson plan. And whether he was, whether it's, as a coterie of likewise teachers who were, kind of fomenting this kind of stuff in the teachers' lounge. I guess He's a freaking teacher. A teacher. What a lesson is to the students of his class about trying to murder as many people as he could of the highest ranking officials of the United States government. All of them. If he could have killed all of them, he would have killed all of them.
Yeah. Violence means nothing to him and his ilk.
How did there was no sign of mental illness? Apparently, he's lived with a family. He's got brothers, and I mean, as far as I know, now they're going to be doing a deep dive. But obviously, as far as I know, there's no history of him being a freak or a nutball or getting arrested in protests or anything. This just came out of his. He wrote the manifesto and tried to go kill the president and everybody else. I'm thinking, holy cow. And again, he was spurned on by these freaking people of the media. And Donald Trump, God bless him. In fact, I'll tell you what. Let's play cut number 5 here, Jeff. Donald Trump again with Norah O'Donnell. I mean, what a sleazy, really dirtbag of she's not a reporter. She's a host, a TV host. But she asked Donald Trump about all these attacks on him, and Donald Trump has got a pretty good answer for it. Number 5. He's looked at.
I've studied assassinations, and I must tell you, the most impactful people, the people that do the most, you take a look at the people, Abraham Lincoln, I mean, you go through the people that have gone through this where they got them. But the people that do the most, the people that make the biggest impact, they're the ones that they go after. They don't go after the ones that don't do much because they like it that way. And when you look at the people that have either, whether it was an attempt or a successful attempt, they're very impactful people. Just take a look at the names there, the big names. And I hate to say I'm honored by that, but I've done a lot. We've done a lot. We've taken this country, and we were a laughingstock for years, and now we're the hottest country anywhere in the world. We've changed this country. And there are a lot of people that are not happy about that. So I think that's the answer, Peter.
And after Butler, your team for a while rethought outdoor events.
Yeah.
Do you think that you now need to rethink indoor?
Well, but then you just don't do events. No, I can't do that. I have to. It is what it is. We have to do it. The room was very, very secure. He charged from 50 yards away, so he was very far away from the room.
And what did you think when you saw the video of how fast he was running?
He was moving. He was really moving. And the reaction time was great. Boy, those guys, they had their guns drawn literally by the time he was there. They were shooting.
That's right.
I thought they were very impressive.
That was Mike. That was talking to the media afterwards. The Laura O'Donnell thing. There's more of that also. And again, in fact, let's do cut number 2 here. And by the way, Donald Trump again is praising the Secret Service. And again, they did all the right things from that moment that the guy came in. But what led up to that, a lot of people are going to have questions about how the hell that could have happened in the first place. How did he get in that far with all those weapons? Anyway, cut number 2. This is Donald Trump when she asked him about he's got a pretty dangerous life going there. Number 2, Chef, if you will.
I lead a pretty normal life, considering it's a dangerous life. I think I handle it as well as it can be handled. I think a lot of other people, you read stories where they become basket cases. To be honest with you, I'm not a basket case. I really take it as it is. I do it for the country. I'm not doing it for any other reason. I have a first lady who's doing a terrific job. She loves the country, and she recognizes it better than anybody. She's told me numerous times, you are in a dangerous job. But that goes along with her, too. I mean, it's dangerous for her, too. We sat there tonight, we heard that noise, and it was either a tray or a bullet. I was hoping it was a tray, but it wasn't. And, again, we had some very brave people doing a great job, so we're very proud of them and happy with them.
In fact, Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche earlier said a lot of people thought at first all those gunshots were gunshots. They were actually plates falling because all the staff was running and the waiters and everything. But there were apparently 5 gunshots fired from the same gun, and we're not sure. I don't think he knows where all the bullets landed. They got the shell casings, but not where the rounds went anyway, or who fired him, or what the situation was, or why he missed what he was shooting at, unless he was shooting at something specifically not to hit anybody in the crowd. I don't know. For the record, boys, this morning I heard on the morning show our caller who fakes a name and pretends he's somebody else and then tries to blast Donald Trump. How come Donald Trump did that to him? That guy, he called the morning show, and I forgot what name he used, like Noah or something. I don't know. And they immediately called him out when he said, well, how about if a Democratic president, and they go, oh, we got you. I mean, he's just not very good at it. You know, he gets a fake name pretending to do one thing, and then like in 9 seconds, he's outed himself, and it's just a sniveling little goof. It's hysterical. So now we pass him off to the morning show. Sorry, boys. Maybe you'll get the hint. Anyways, 5:13 already. Holy crap. Holy crap is sports is next with Pete's back. And boy, if we got scandals and weird stuff, it's going to be great. Look out.
You can stream Atlanta's only conservative news and talk station while you work at extra1063.com. Get the latest from the Morning Extra, The Kimmer Show, and Neil Boortz, and stay connected at the office. That's xtra1063.com.
Join Daniel Matalon, CEO of A Second Chance Bail Bonds, and co-host Tug Cowart as they bring together law enforcement, justice insiders, and voices from every part of the justice system, victims, advocates, and people who've turned their lives around. It's not PR, it's not fluff. It's an honest talk about what's working, what's broken, and how to build a better path forward, one second chance at a time. This week's guest is Jackie the Fly Lawyer Patterson. Justice Unfiltered. Unfiltered, informed, and unbiased.
You hear bail bonds and you think one thing. Someone to get you out of a jam. But A Second Chance Bail Bonds is built differently. This family-run team, led by brothers Daniel and Ryan Matalon, believes everyone deserves a second chance. And they prove it every day through the A Second Chance Community Foundation. They support local nonprofits, partner with law enforcement, and stay active in community programs, food drives, and safety initiatives. Bottom line, they don't just work in the community, they're part of it. Learn more at a2cfoundation.org. That's a2cfoundation.org.
Truck month is here, and nobody does it better than Jim Ellis Chevrolet. If you've been waiting for the right time to upgrade your truck, this is it.
Right now, Jim Ellis Chevy is stacking the savings, helping you save nearly $12,000 off MSRP on a brand new 2026 Chevrolet Silverado 1500 RST.
We're talking dealer discounts, supplier pricing, customer cash, and bonus cash, all combined to deliver serious savings.
And if you qualify for additional offers like Costco incentives, you could drive your new Silverado home for even less.
Take Silverado stock number T16116. Its MSRP is $68,420. After Jim Ellis, a manufacturer discount, sale price is only now just $56,564. Just add TABT and state fee.
Anybody can advertise a sale. No one does truck month like Jim Ellis Chevrolet.
Shop a huge selection of Silverados ready to go. Enjoy transparent pricing and a buying process that's just fast, easy, and built around you. Shop online at JimEllisChevrolet.com or visit Jim Ellis Chevy on Peachtree Industrial just inside the perimeter. Jim Ellis Chevrolet. Together, let's drive.
Babe, can you knock out my honey-do list today?
Oh, I know. I told you I'd get to it this weekend.
Hi, I'm Chris Lalomia, owner of the Trusted Toolbox. I can't fix your marriage, but I can fix your house. With our handyman for a day service, we'll handle those drywall patches, that door that won't latch, the leaky faucet, and the wood rot all around your house. The whole punch list, done fast, done right. You keep your weekend, she gets the house done. Everybody wins. Book your handyman for a day at thetrustedtoolbox.com. One call, one handyman, one day, the Trusted Toolbox.
You've worked hard to build your investments, but are they positioned the right way from a tax perspective? Because it's not just what you make, it's what you keep. Hi, I'm David Nicholas, president of Nicholas Wealth Management. Many investors don't realize that their portfolios may be creating unnecessary tax exposure. Capital gains, required minimum distributions, inefficient account placement can quietly reduce your returns, especially as you approach retirement. At Nicholas Wealth Management, we help clients evaluate whether their investments are structured in a tax-efficient way, looking beyond performance to understand how taxes impact income today and your legacy tomorrow. Are your assets in the right accounts? Are there opportunities to reduce further tax liability. Is your strategy aligned with your long-term retirement goals? Call Nicholas Wealth Management today, 678-990-8500. Schedule a complimentary review. That's 678-990-8500 or visit nicholaswealth.com. Nicholas Wealth Management, helping you keep more of what you've worked so hard to build.
Nicholas Wealth Management is an independent financial services firm. This is for informational purposes only and is not specific investment advice.
In a time when everything feels political, one place must rise above it all: the courtroom, where the law rules and integrity matters. In 2020, Georgians came together, electing a justice who believes in protecting our courts.
I'm Georgia Supreme Court Justice Sarah Warren, and here's what I believe. I believe in the rule of law, the separation of powers, and a judge's limited role to interpret the law as written. I believe in a nonpartisan judiciary, impartial judges who don't advocate for political positions or outcomes. I believe in deciding cases without bias or favor, treating everyone with dignity and respect. As a justice on your Supreme Court, I've upheld these values. With your support, we'll maintain the integrity of our courts.
Vote to re-elect Justice Sarah Warren. Vote early starting April 27th or on Election Day, May 19th. Paid for by Georgians for Justice Warren, Inc.
I'm Patrick Brown, former Army Ranger in the United States Army. Like many service members, I had to make difficult choices when leaving the military, and the most challenging thing was finding purpose in a new phase of life. Housing, employment, education, way too many decisions and no idea where to start. That was until I met the Warrior Alliance. They made it simple. They listened and quickly connected me to the services I needed. And like a trusted friend, they even followed up to make sure I was squared away. Change a veteran's life today by donating at thewarrioralliance.org, helping warriors navigate to success after service.
Well, outside of a dog, a book is a man's best friend. Inside of a dog, it's just too dark to read. You bet your life, Groucho Marx. For 50 West, say the secret void. Anyway, now sponsored by Glickman's Plums. Holy crap, it's sports with Pete Davis.
Well, our Braves a much-deserved night off after taking 2 out of 3 from the Phillies over the weekend in Truist Park. 6-2 the score yesterday. Matt Olson, a 3-run shot in the first off Aaron Nola. Eli White also went deep. Well, over a 13-game streak of playing National League East Division foes, the Bravos went 10-3.
Wow.
They're the first team to 20 wins. Only took 29 games to get there. Last season, they didn't get 20 wins until game number 49.
I remember that streak when we thought, whoa, what's going on?
We've traded with the Phils and Mets this year with what went on last year.
Yeah.
Chris Sale gives credit to you, the fans, for that huge strikeout of Bryce Harper. Bases loaded yesterday. Fell behind 3-1 before the crowd got loud. Chris says he heard you, and it pumped him up, and he told himself, don't ruin this moment. And he didn't. He blew it right past him.
No kidding. He actually thought about the crowd and got, well, outstanding. Good for him. I like that guy. You know what? I think he's just a quality guy.
Chris Sale continues to strengthen his Hall of Fame resume. Got a season-high 9 strikeouts over 6 scoreless innings, his 150th career win.
Wow.
A second-inning strikeout pushed him past former Angels great Chuck Finley for sole possession of 28th place all-time in the strikeouts. And he also now owns the 7th highest total among left-handed pitchers. Now, right up next to him, a little ahead of him, but he may catch him maybe this season. We'll see. David Cone.
David Cone, the former Met. New York Met
and Royal, and what a great pitcher he was. He could make that ball do amazing.
And he was not a big guy either. He was, he could move that ball around, yeah.
Braves have a 6.5 game lead over the Marlins. Both Philly and the Mets are 10.5 out.
Oh, wow. The Phillies? Yeah. Oh, man, the Mets are over. The Mets are getting killed.
How bad is it for the Metropolitans? You can now attend the Mets game in Citi Field for under $6.
Oh, man.
That's what they're going for on one of the little sites there.
Wow.
The Tigers in town tomorrow night. The 2-1 right-hander Casey Mize for Detroit. They're now 15-14 this season against left-hander Martin Perez, who's 1-1. Rookie J.R. Ritchie gets the ball for Game 2. That'll be a must-see.
Cool.
Righty Ronaldo Lopez moves to the bullpen for the time being. He's going to work on some stuff. Bittersweet moment yesterday at the old ballpark, as it was the last time that Blooper, the Braves mascot, would run the victory flag in from center field. I remember when Blooper came around and everybody said, this is stupid. It's a knockoff of the Philly fanatic. And now everybody loves Blooper. This version of Blooper is setting it aside. The person inside the costume is leaving. Someone else will pick up the mantle of mirth.
I'll be darned. Well,
and he was good too.
Yeah?
Blooper is one of the better ones. He has big shoes to fill. Literally, Blooper's shoes are massive, so it'll be
massive shoes. Do you have a favorite? I think the San Diego Chicken's got to be the guy that I always think about as the
I
king
used to
of
see him all the time
mascots.
in San Diego. And the Fanatic is great.
Philly Fanatic, yeah, but the San Diego Chicken, that guy, he became famous. We used to, anyway, what a
Ted Gianolis or whatever
something
his name
like that.
was.
Yeah.
KGB radio station there in San Diego.
KGB. Oh my God! I used to live when I was in the Marines at Camp Pendleton. We used to listen to KGB 2020 News, and then the other one was, "This is J. Paul Huddleston. That's the way it is." Oh my
the
God.
struggling Red Sox fired their manager Alex Cora and 5 of their coaches a Saturday night massacre after they just scored 17 runs in Baltimore.
They
Not
won.
Everyone is, they won. Not everyone is happy with the moves. One former Boston player summed it up by saying, and I'll clean this up, it's like crapping your pants and changing your shirt. Now, this is interesting. It just shows that there's some people, I guess, I don't know if they're just young or whatever. Fox News had a story about this that Outkick.com, put on their website.
Yeah.
And I'm reading it. And when they took the coaches and imagine they fired him, they took him out of the hotel and they put him in one of those short little buses, right, to take him to the airport or wherever the hell they were going to take him.
Yeah.
And on the side of it read "Coaches for Hire."
Coaches for hire, yeah.
So the Fox News reporter thought that was the Boston management trolling their former manager and coaches by saying, "Coaches for hire right here."
Yeah,
when
no.
it's for a bus. It was to hire the bus.
Yeah, it's a company.
But the guy writing the story, it was serious about it, going, they're trolling their guys. It was embarrassing. It's like,
man,
dude,
please.
what's embarrassing is when someone points out to you, you're a moron. That's just. But we've all made mistakes like that, so I shouldn't say that.
Silly. Looking for a little something extra, I guess.
The gambling problem in college sports back in the news. Texas Tech star quarterback Brandon Sorsby has entered a gambling addiction program. Seems Sorsby made thousands of online bets on many sports, which could affect his eligibility with the Red Raiders, since the NCAA does not allow players to bet on college or pro sports. Now, Sorsby may have bet on Indiana games back in 2022 when he was a true freshman with the Hoosiers. Bets allegedly on Indiana to win. None of the games were when Sorsby was playing. Now, meanwhile, his former team, the Bearcats, are suing him for $1 million since he claims he owes them for the NIL stuff.
Man, here we go. This is a mess.
Yeah, it is a total mess. Falcons getting good reviews for their draft picks. They released punter Trenton Gill. Also parted ways with Chris Olson, the senior director of football administration, or whatever that is. They hired former Eagles executive Bryce Johnston as senior VP of football administration and senior personnel exec. A lot of titles being thrown around out there. They also fired 4 scouts, or 3.5. Matt Ryan is not playing around, also signing former Auburn tight end and undrafted free agent Brandon Frazier to a 3-year, $3 million deal.
Wow.
So, yeah,
Cool.
A lot of moves.
All right.
Meanwhile, former Heisman Trophy finalist and Vanderbilt quarterback Diego Pavia was not drafted by anybody.
I saw this story. Yeah.
Showing out after losing the trophy and representing yourself instead of getting an agent didn't help his cause. And being shorter than me also doesn't help if you want to be an NFL quarterback. He's been invited to the Ravens mini camp, which led Karen to tweet, "Rude of the Ravens to invite Diego to their mini camp instead of their regular size camp."
Because he's 5'9" or something.
He is short.
Yeah.
The long knives are out for former NFL reporter and alleged man mattress Diana Rossini. Now an ex-NFL scout claims she slept with 2 other NFL coaches besides Mike Vrabel. One of them being hinted around is the former Saints coach who now coaches a team out west. I will not say his name.
No, we wouldn't want to get the names out.
No, we wouldn't want to do that just in case he's innocent.
A little blank holster.
And by the way, not only Rossini's name, but another name you would know, ESPN former or something like that, is her name's being thrown around too, is also using her womanly wiles to get stories and stuff.
My.
But I'm not going to say her name.
Why not? Is it out there?
It's a rumor, and I'm not going to throw a rumor out there. It has to be.
I got you. Is there somebody, a famous woman? Like, would this be a scandal?
You would know her name. She's not as famous as Rossini, I don't think, but she's close. She's close. Do you know who Kansai Matsuzawa is?
I do not, sir.
He could become the first Japanese player to make an NFL roster. Kansai spent 3 years working at a Morton steakhouse in Tokyo while teaching himself how to be a place kicker using YouTube videos.
Oh, my God. Well, why not?
You can do anything.
Any genetics of any race. What's the difference? And by the way, I wonder how come there are no Japanese football players?
They're kind of small, most. No offense, but Japanese.
Well, but sumo wrestlers. Those guys aren't 5'6". I don't know. Anyway, I was just curious. Well, good.
Panthers rookie offensive tackle Monroe Freeling, asked what his hobbies were, responded, "Sometimes I like to donate golf balls to the water at the local golf courses."
There you go.
Nepo baby Chris Sims has been fired from Football Night in America on NBC. I remember when they hired him, I thought, you know what? Of the 350 million people live in America, you're right. Only the son of a former quarterback would be able to do that job.
Yeah, that's kind of funny. Yeah.
The always important Game 5 of a series tomorrow night in Madison Square Garden between the Hawks and Knickerbockers.
Here we go.
All tied up at 2 apiece.
Yeah.
Winner of this game usually goes on to win the series. The Knicks enjoyed their win Saturday night by eating the lemon pepper wings from Magic City.
Ah, there you go. Magic City, which didn't get to have their, dancing naked girl night or whatever, right? Anyway, so made up for
on this day, April 27th in history, 1947, a crowd of 58,000 attended Babe Ruth Day at Yankee Stadium to honor the ailing legend. 1971, Braves outfitter Hank Aaron joined Ruth and Willie Mays as the only major leaguers to hit 600 career homers. Hammer and Hank's historic homer, a 350-foot drive over the left field wall, where most of them went, came off Gaylord Perry, third inning of a 6-5 10-inning loss to the Giants at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium.
I met Willie Mays once.
Yeah, big fan of the show, I understand.
Story. Not a big fan of the Kimmer. I'm going to go blank myself, as I recall. I'm sorry.
I'm kind of glad I never met him because he was my baseball hero as a kid, even though he's over the hill by the time I paid attention to him. But I read all the stories about him, and everyone said he was kind of prickly. I'm kind of glad I didn't meet him.
Well, I mean, I was still in awe no matter what. And it was I didn't know that he had a bone to pick with a guy I was working for as a stringer to do an interview with him. So I was in awe of the man. And all of them, pro baseball players that, I was at Arizona State as a student after the Marine Corps and everything, going to school. And all of a sudden, all these pro baseball players are there for spring training, and I'm doing interviews. And I mean, it was really, and Willie freaking Mays, Willie Mays. And I met a lot of them, a lot of different teams, major star players. Cool.
I talk about going down to spring training. I remember in Orlando once, I think the first year I went down there, and I was standing there talking to somebody, and then I was just looking around, and the great Bobby Cox came up and said, you know what he said to me?
What?
You're not supposed to be here.
Get out, kid.
At the time had expired.
That's funny.
I didn't see it. And he goes, you're not supposed to be here.
I love it. By the way, birthdays include Nolan Ryan. I beg your pardon. It's not a birthday. It's an event in history, Pete. 1983, Nolan Ryan with the Astros struck out batter number 3,509 and passed Walter Johnson as the all-time strikeout king. And in fact, Nolan Ryan, that was in 1983, I had a giant poster signed by Nolan Ryan, and the slogan was Nolan Knows Bo, and it was a picture of Nolan Ryan's bloody nose on the mound because Bo Jackson had hit a line drive. It hit him in the face, and Nolan Ryan's bloody face was a huge, like a 4-foot poster, framed poster, and signed by him, and I gave it to Kevin, my Delta pilot, as a thank you for helping organize get my secret Kimmer chopper fix-up for my birthday. So anyway, so he's got that in his possession. That was 1983. And a quick birthday, I think we got one birthday. Hall of Famer George Gervin, basketball Hall of Famer, 74 years old today. And
what was his nickname?
Oh, the Iceman, was it, or something like that?
Iceman.
The Iceman. Oh my God, I remembered that. I can't believe it.
ABA.
Yeah, American bat. Yeah, he was a superstar. Anyway, 5:31. So much more. Kimmer, Pete Flounder, Jeff on the board, and all is well. Happy Monday. How you doing? What is up? Join us if you feel like it. Look out.
Stream Atlanta's only conservative voice anywhere you go with the Extra 106.3 app. Now equipped with Apple CarPlay. That means you'll always have Extra's crystal clear HD stream right on your dashboard no matter where you are. Download the all-new Extra 106.3 app now and start streaming.
Hey, this is Lowe's with David from Atlanta, who just purchased his new car with the Honest Car Guy, the new, fully transparent way to buy your next vehicle. David, tell us about your experience.
I had been looking for a vehicle for a couple months. The car buying process was a little challenging at first for me. I had some credit issues in the past, and I just happened to hear a familiar voice on the radio, and it happened to be the Honest Car Guy ad. I got in touch with Tom. Within 2, maybe 3 days, I had a vehicle being shipped here from Orlando, Florida. I have already recommended him to family members, several friends, and I'll purchase a car from Tom when I make my next purchase for sure.
Friends, if you're in the market for a pre-owned car, truck, or SUV, get an honest car buy from the Honest Car Guy. You pay what we pay, plus an honest fee, and we back that up by giving you the bill of sale. That's our transparency guarantee. Call 844-SHOW-ME-1. That's 844-SHOW-ME, the number 1, or visit honestcarguy.com.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. No, we're not one of the big guys. Truth is, we don't want to be. If you're over 50, Big Wireless probably has you paying for more data than you might need. You could be throwing away thousands over a lifetime.
Our entry-level data plans start at just $20 a month. And for a limited time, switch and get your second month free. Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com or a store near you and get your second month free today. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional details.
There's a lot going on in the world right now. Escalating global conflict, the threats to infrastructure, supply chains, growing concerns about food shortages. I mean, none of us really know what tomorrow is going to bring. It's enough to make you stop and think, is my family actually prepared for what comes next? I've talked about preparedness a lot over the years, and if you've been sitting on the fence about it, maybe it's time to get started. That's why the amazing people at My Patriot Supply have created the Family Starter Pack. Each kit will give you emergency food supply that will feed your family for a full week. Food that stores for years, takes up less space than you think, and it's ready when you need it. Plus the tools you'll need to actually use it, like off-grid cooking gear, water filtration, and backup power, all for as little as $100 per person, and the food is really good. It's in stock. It's ready to ship right now. PrepareWithGlenn.com. PrepareWithGlenn.com. Take this one simple, affordable step. Make sure your family is protected with the essentials. PrepareWithGlenn.com. Get prepared today. PrepareWithGlenn.com.
Stream Clay Travis and Buck Sexton, Glenn Beck, Fox News, and even NASCAR on Sundays. Anywhere on the Extra 106.3 app. Download the app now and get 24/7 access to the live stream, the latest news, and everything you need to know about Atlanta's only conservative talk station. Download the Extra 106.3 app for Apple or Android and check out even more great original content at thepodcastpark.com.
I know. Here we go. It's the Beatles. 1966. Go to sleep. The Beatles started recording the new John Lennon song, I'm Only Sleeping. It was at Abbey Road Studios in London. The song features the then unique sound of a reversed guitar duet played by George Harrison. Reversed guitar duet, released 2 months earlier in the United States on the album Yesterday and Today, and did not feature on the original version of Revolver. Anyway, 66, the Beatles. Our birthday list includes Cy Robertson from Duck Dynasty. Cy Robertson is 78 years old. He's the oldest one, right? Isn't he the old type, I guess? Let's see. And our birthday, and I got a history thing here. Hold everything. Oh, I know. I was going to do a Pete. Did we lose Pete? I don't see Pete. I don't see Flounder either. Everybody go home. It's till 6, boys. Normally till 6. On this day in history, in sport, little sports history, 1956, Rocky Marciano retires as the world heavyweight boxing champion. He was 32 years old, wanted to spend time with his family. Rocky Marciano is the only professional heavyweight boxing champion in history who never lost a fight. 49 bouts, 49 wins, 43 of them by knockout. He drafted into the Army in 1943. He started boxing in the Army, so they let him out of KP duty, kitchen police duty. Tried to make it with the Chicago Cubs. They cut him as a pro baseball player, and then he started fighting people for real. He knocked out Joe Louis in the 8th round in 1951, and then won the first heavyweight crown of a match by beating champ Jersey Joe Walcott in the 13th round. He faced Walcott again later on, a year year later and beat him in the first round, knocked him out. And then his last bout against Archie Moore ended in and knocked him out in the 9th round. Rocky Marciano announced his retirement in 1956. Then was on a small plane ride in Iowa. It crashed, and Rocky Marciano died in 1969. I used to watch him every Saturday as a kid on Look Sharp, da-da-da-da-da, and Feel Sharp, da-da-da-da-da. Gillette had Friday night boxing or bouts or Saturday afternoon. I saw Rocky Marciano almost every week. I think they had a Rocky Marciano. I think he would do a commentary and show his highlights of his bouts. Used to see a lot, and he was not a big man. He was, like 5'10", 180 or something, if I remember correctly. But anyway.
I think back in the 1950s, if I was famous, I wouldn't fly over Iowa or anywhere in the Midwest.
Yeah.
I mean, look, you got Buddy Holly, Rocky Marciano, and Newt Rockne.
Yeah. And wasn't Ricky Nelson killed over in the same area? Maybe, or I don't know. That was maybe a little later. But anyway. And by the way, a rather bizarre thing in history here. On this day in 2005, an unnamed woman became the first female in Norway to be convicted of rape. Apparently, there was a party, and a party guest fell asleep on her couch, and so she, by the grace of, good things, wonderful, decided to take advantage of the situation and performed, something or other, unbeknownst to the sleeping guest, and somebody turned her in. She spent 9 months in prison. Now, ladies, let's not be, I don't know, just too quick to,
Well, Norm MacDonald says, let's don't be too hasty by shaming the slut.
Yeah, there's no, everybody, so.
Come on.
Anyway, 5:39, ladies, girls.
Don't be hasty.
I hope my next girlfriend's got a sense of humor, yes?
Oh, she'd have to.
Yeah, she would have to, and a lot of money. Some sad news. One of my favorite groups growing up as a kid as an old-timer was the freaking Ronettes. Be My Baby. Oh, Baby, I Love You. Be My Baby, the Ronettes was just it. And the last surviving member has passed away. Nedra Tally Ross passed away at the age of 80. She was a founding member of the Ronettes along with her cousins Ronnie and Estelle. Ronnie Spector was the lead singer. Older sister Estelle Bennett and Tally Ross were their cousins. They signed with Phil Spector's label, Phillies Records, and they spawned hits like Be My Baby and Baby I Love You. They broke up in 1967, but their influence in the music industry in the 60s and their fashion also lasted for a very long time. Be My Baby in the Grammy Hall of Fame as a song. Phil Spector battled cancer and died in 2022 at the age of 78. And the last surviving member passed away as well at the age of 80. Be My Baby and the rest of it. A couple of things about the incident that happened at the Washington Press Corps Association dinner shooting and attempted assassination for the whole freaking members of the cabinet and the top executives in the administration of America. The guy who was performing was a mentalist named Oz Perlman. And for the record, this was kind of funny. He was backstage and he was talking to Caroline Levitt, and he said, Caroline Levitt came up to me and said, challenge me. I'm having a baby next week. Can you guess what I'm naming my daughter? So Oz, the mentalist, said, I was guessing letter by letter. He said, we'll save it up for when we get back to the desk live because the president walked in. So, he said, but I'll do it letter by letter. I was guessing, he said, letter by letter, how many letters were in the name? And then right at the moment when you see it happen, I wrote down the name and said, how did I do? And I turned around, and before revealing the name, the headline entertainer said he was guessing a name featuring 6 to 7 letters, and Caroline Levitt, said yes. And then I said to her, you think of a V, and that's when the First Lady goes, how did you know this? I write down the name, and I say, what are you naming your daughter with a V? I turn around, he said, and you see Wing Jang, the White House correspondence president from CBS, gasp. And then you see the First Lady go because she couldn't believe it, and Caroline Levitt says, that's the name of my daughter, Vivian. He somehow guessed it. And he got seconds before ducking for cover. And by the way, Oz Perlman, the mentalist, said that Caroline Levitt gave him permission to tell that story and share the name. And he guessed backstage while just before the shooting started that he guessed the name of her baby, which is coming in a matter of days. She came back to work today. I think it's due in May, so at some point they're going to induce it, I think, perhaps. Anyway, she's going to have a baby girl. Now, one other thing about the ballroom thing, and I've been part of this. Flounder, I'll bet you have too. You're the most recently married of us. The video caught a woman, apparently a reporter, at the White House Correspondents' Dinner Saturday night. After all this stuff was happening, people are going crazy. A blonde woman wearing a very fancy, posh black fur coat went straight for a table and started picking up all the booze. The shooting took place in the salad portion, so there was wine everywhere, abandoned everywhere, the whole freaking ballroom. And they're not quite sure whether she was a journalist or a guest. I'm not sure whether they've identified her yet, but footage of the wine grab went viral, and people are deciding whether or not that was the right thing to do, or whether it was in poor taste out of a tragic evening, especially if the guy had killed somebody. But anyway, one guy says, "Oh, you got members of the press stealing wine bottles? Are repugnant. How shameless. After a shooting, journalists are stealing liquor bottles. How is this stealing?" Another said. They were placed on the table for dinner. Everything's already paid for. $350 a plate. Take a free wine tax. What the hell? And a lot of people were caught exiting the ballroom with bottles of wine under their coats and stuff like that. Now, let me ask you, Flounder, I kind of forgot. Were there things that people would take at your wedding or afterwards?
You mean like
stuff left
tables?
over? Yeah,
I don't think
I'm trying to remember if there was. How about centerpieces? That's the other thing. I've been to places before, Pete, I don't know whether you have not, or Jeff for that matter, where at the end of an event or an evening, especially like a charity ball event or something like that, or a charity dinner and a speech and stuff like that, where at the end of it, if there's a centerpiece, a flower arrangement on the table, some girl's going to grab it.
Take it.
Some chick is going to grab that centerpiece. And I don't know if I've ever actually stolen an unopened bottle of wine, or even opened, I guess, bottle of wine or champagne or something. That seems a little cheesy. But I guess.
Think about this. What you could say is later said during the assassination attempt, this was the wine we were going to drink, and open it up later or try and sell it.
Yeah. Oh, I can see the memento aspect of it. Absolutely. Yeah. And again, it'll be on. I bet you'll be on eBay. I wouldn't be a bit surprised if you're going to see bottles of wine from that shooting event on eBay for the bottle of wine probably costs what, $50? A good a wine for an event like that, probably $40-$50, maybe the $20 or $30 version. I don't. Either way, I'll bet it'd go for a couple $100 anyway on eBay for someone who wanted a memento if they could prove it was really there. Anyway, I don't know. It's 5:45 already. Holy cow! Kimmer, Pete, Jeff's here, Flounder, and everybody, and your show 404-741-1230. We'll wrap it up here as we mosey on towards 6 o'clock on a beautiful sunny afternoon here at the ballpark. 106.3. How you doing?
Extra 106.3 is focused on the issues that matter most to you. Inflation, housing costs, healthcare, and taxes all shape the political landscape nationally and in Atlanta. And President Trump continues to fight the good fight so you'll have the chance to live the American dream. Proud to be the conservative voice of Atlanta. Extra 106.3 FM and the Extra app.
Jaron Solomon here, and if you want to absolutely win Mother's Day, listen up. Now through May 10th, when you make a purchase at Solomon Brothers Jewelers, you can receive a free Big Green Egg Grill with qualifying purchase. And this year, for all of you out there who have taken us up on this offer before, you also have the option of a brand new Traeger. You give mom something timeless, and you get the grill everybody wants. Visit Solomon Brothers Jewelers or book your appointment at SolomonBrothers.com.
Welcome to Collins Hill Golf Club. Located only minutes between Georgia 316 and I-85 in Lawrenceville, lies one of Northeast Atlanta's best fun and affordable golf courses. A beautiful traditional layout with small undulating greens and narrow tree lines, and a new pond restoration project that will enhance the beauty and playability of the course. Collins Hill offers a wonderful challenge for every skill level. But golf is just the beginning of what you'll find at Collins Hill Golf Club. The clubhouse is the ideal place for members and guests to relax. The staff at Collins Hill is another key asset to the club. There is always something going on at Collins Hill Golf Club. Interested in competitive golf tournaments locally? Join the Collins Hill Men's Golf Association. Annual membership includes a golf tournament happening every month. Visit collinshillgolf.com for information. That's collinshillgolf.com.
The best time to shop for a new car is when selection is strong and the offer is clear. Right now at Marietta Toyota, the new 2026 Toyota Camry is all hybrid and in stock. It's built for commuters with exceptional fuel efficiency, up to 53 miles per gallon in the city. Voted Best of Top, Best New Car Dealership, and Best Dealership Service Center. Here's the difference you don't get everywhere. Every new Toyota comes with our nationwide lifetime powertrain warranty, unlimited time, and unlimited mileage for as long as you own your Toyota. For well-qualified buyers, special APR financing is available on the new 2026 Camry, 4.99% APR for 72 months. We're right where we've always been, Cobb Parkway South, just north of Truist Stadium. Marietta Toyota since 1975. We've been here and we'll be here for you.
4.99% APR for 72 months with approved credit through Southeast Toyota Finance. Not all buyers will qualify. Offer ends May 4th, 2026. Lifetime powertrain warranty included with every new Toyota purchase. See dealer for details.
Did you know you can add renewing your driver's license or ID card to your grocery list? The Georgia Department of Driver Services now offers self-service kiosks at select Kroger and Publix locations. From renewing or replacing to updating your address, the kiosks will issue a temporary paper license, and you'll receive a permanent card in the mail. Skip the line and save time by adding your driver's license renewal to your grocery list today. You'll even get a $5 discount on your order. Visit dds.georgia.gov to learn more. Sponsored by the Georgia Department of Driver Services.
A simple act of generosity changed everything. A journey from alone and abandoned to one of the most successful businessmen in Georgia history. Here's Rick Jackson.
I spent Christmas Eve alone in a children's home. When I woke up, a Good Samaritan had left me $100.
Rick Jackson knows what it's like to go without. That's why he'll fight career politicians who talk about cutting income taxes and property taxes, but never deliver.
Unlike career politicians, I know how some extra money can change everything. That's why I'll freeze your property taxes and slash the income tax in half.
Conservative businessman Rick Jackson will deliver the Georgia results that failed career politicians never will.
I'll get you a boatload of your money back, or I won't run again. It's as simple as that.
The conservative outsider who will deliver real tax relief. Rick Jackson for governor. Paid for by Jackson for Governor, Inc.
Hey, Lane. What's that? Ding, dum, dum. What is that? Joan Baez in the background? This Bob Dylan, 1965. On this day was interviewed by the BBC and a radio presenter in the Savoy Hotel in London for their home service show, broadcast on Today programming the next day. But later on this day, Dylan and Joan Baez were filmed singing the traditional song Wild Mountain Thyme. Parts of the interview and the song were used in the film Don't Look Back.
He's actually coming on tour, and he's playing at Chastain.
Bob Dylan is?
Yeah.
No kidding.
Mm-hmm.
God, I used to go to back when I was married. I used to go to Chastain. We used to go to concerts and stuff down there.
It's a really cool venue, but there's a curfew because you're right in a neighborhood.
Yeah,
so.
yeah, that's true. They can't have loud sounds after 11, I think, or 10:30 or something like that. And they had little cute little restaurant. A cute little restaurant there to have dinner and stuff, too. It was really nice. And they got a stable there, or used to it anyway, stuff like that. I'm sorry, Patricia on the radio. Hey, Patricia, on the join us. How you doing, doll? What's going on?
When you were talking about taking centerpieces,
yeah,
very often at charity galas, before people arrive, they will put a star or a sticker under one chair at each table. And then at the end of the evening, they ask the guests to look at the seat, and whoever has the sticker gets the centerpiece as a gift.
In fact, I think I've seen that happen before. That's nice.
Yeah.
That's nice. Anyway.
That makes it nicer than somebody just ripping it off and running away.
Well, the funny thing, I mean, I've seen where women just grab it and take off, that mad dash for the car, in high heels.
And then the water spills in the car.
Yeah, exactly. Didn't really plan it, All right, Patricia. Have a great night, sweetie. Be careful out there. Let's see. Kimber, Pete, and Flounder, and Jeff on the board. And David Lasher's birthday, 54. He played Vinny on Blossom, Kyle on Beverly Hills 90 whatever, and Josh on Sabrina the Witch. David Lasher, 54. And let's see. Oh, I know. I may play a soundbite here, too, and I got another Flounders Funny coming up here for you, too. On this day in 1805, it would be the first Battle of the United States Marines, the first raising of an American flag on foreign soil. The first Barbary War. 4 years earlier, Thomas Jefferson, the president, ordered Navy vessels to the Mediterranean Sea to protest the raids against American ships by pirates from the Barbary states, Morocco, Algeria, Tunis, and Tripolitania. Tripolitania. American sailors abducted with the captured booty, ransomed back to the United States at an exorbitant price. After 2 years of going through this, Jefferson said, that's it. And he sent a small expeditionary force to the Tripoli harbor in present-day Libya. It was the Derna campaign. U.S. land forces, North Africa, heavy guns of the Argus and USS Hornet, Marines and mercenaries under William Eaton captured Derna, deposed of the big chief guy there. The Marines performed so heroically in the battle that the chief guy there himself presented with the Lieutenant Presley O'Bannon an elaborately designed sword that now serves as the pattern for the swords carried by Marine officers. The phrase "to the shores of Tripoli" from the official song of the United States Marine Corps also has its origins in the Derna campaign, the first one raising an American flag on foreign soil, United States Marines. 5:55, let's see. Donald Trump is calling for Jimmy Kimmel to be fired. Melania Trump is calling for Jimmy Kimmel to be fired. And Caroline Levitt thinks it's probably a good idea. Let's play cut number 9 here, if you will, Jeff. Caroline Levitt talking about that slimebag Jimmy Kimmel, saying that Melania Trump looks like she look pretty as a widow. Here's number 9.
Our First Lady Melania is here. Look at Melania, so beautiful. Mrs. Trump, you have a glow like an expectant widow.
Yeah. And now how about number 8? Here's Caroline Levitt at the podium today saying, you've got to be kidding me.
Much of the manifesto of the would-be assassin is indistinguishable from the words that we hear daily from so many. For example, as the First Lady of the United States pointed out this morning, just 2 days prior to the shooting, ABC's late-night host Jimmy Kimmel disgustingly called First Lady Melania Trump an expectant widow. Who in their right minds says a wife would be glowing over the potential murder of her beloved husband? And having experienced what I did with the First Lady on Saturday night, I can tell you that she was anything but that. This kind of rhetoric about the president, the First Lady, and his supporters is completely deranged, and it's unbelievable that the American people are consuming it night after night after night. As President Trump said on Saturday night at this podium, we as Americans must recommit ourselves to resolving our differences peacefully and uniting around the shared values that make our country great. The deranged lies and smears against the president, his family, his supporters have led crazy people to believe crazy things, and they are inspired to commit violence because of those words. It has to stop.
Amen. Caroline Levitt. It's about time. Maybe this will do it. Maybe finally they're going to be embarrassed enough to, stop coming forward calling Trump a freaking Nazi. Babylon B says, they have a 5-day waiting period before they call him a Nazi again. Real quickly before the Flounders Funny, how about cut number 3? Donald Trump on 60 Minutes, and that disgraceful Norah O'Donnell tried to embarrass him. Cut number 3. He didn't take it. Coming right up.
So-called manifesto is a stunning thing to read, Mr. President. He appears to reference a motive in it. He writes this, quote, administration officials, they are targets. And he also wrote this, I'm no longer willing to permit a pedophile, rapist, and traitor to coat my hands with his crimes. What's your reaction to that?
Well, I was waiting for you to read that because I knew you would, because you're horrible people. Horrible people. Yeah, he did write that. I'm not a rapist. I didn't rape anybody.
Do you think he was referring to you?
Oh, please.
I'm not a pedophile. You read that crap from some sick person. I got associated with all stuff that has nothing to do with me. I was totally exonerated. Your friends on the other side of the plate are the ones that were involved with, let's say, Epstein or other things. But I said to myself, I'll do this interview and they'll probably, I read the manifesto, he's a sick person, but you should be ashamed of yourself reading that because I'm not any of those things.
Mr. President,
and I was never, excuse me, you shouldn't be reading that on 60 Minutes. You're a disgrace. But go ahead, let's finish the interview.
Yeah, we'll
the other
cut it
thing
right
that he
there.
wrote in
All right, one more.
the other thing in the manifesto.
Yeah, screw you. I mean, what a disgrace. You did that on purpose. Flounder's funny. One more shot. Here we go.
Suburban life is great, man. It's one of those really white suburbs. I love it. Thought I wasn't, but I love it. Because I'm the only black person on my block, which means I'm the most important person on my block. Because I single-handedly control the value of all the homes on my block. Don't you dare act like you don't get that joke. I know you get it.
Single-handedly. That's funny.
Love that power. Throw it in my neighbor's face all the time. See him at Starbucks, they're like, you better buy my coffee or else I'm going to have a cookout. Watch the value of your house drop 10 G's. Get to it, Chip. You know what I like. I live in a cul-de-sac, too. Woo! That's prime white people real estate right there. Cul-de-sac, that's your end game. Who knew that a block that ended in a semicircle had such value? I ain't know what a cul-de-sac was till like 4 years ago. I grew up in the hood. There's no cul-de-sacs in the hood. You can't have drive-bys and cul-de-sacs. Unless you hate all three houses. You roll up, you're like, yo, blast them fools, man. All right, now cut the wheel. Put it in reverse. Creep up a little bit. Blast them fools, man. Cut the wheel again. Put it in reverse. Creep up a little bit. One more house. Stay focused.
This is pretty cool.
It's a drive around.
A drive around. Oh, my God. Who's that?
What's his name?
We don't remember. It's
Kevin Rossman.
There
Kevin
you go.
Rossman.
All right, boys. God bless America. Tomorrow we do it all over again. Sing me home, Christine, baby. I got to go. You're killing me. Well, look out, Herb.
The Morning Extra. Glenn Beck, Clay and Buck, and The Kimmer Show on WFOM and W292 EV Marietta, a Dickey Broadcasting Station.
He intended to kill the president. I'm Lisa Lacera, Fox News. That's what federal law enforcement is saying as they investigate the suspected shooter at the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Acting Attorney General Todd Blanche says they continue to interview people in California where Cole Allen lived, family members in Connecticut, and witnesses in Washington, D.C.
We were able to get multiple devices from various locations, the hotel room, and also his where he lived in California.
D.C. U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro says evidence shows Allen had a desire to kill officials within the administration from highest ranking to lowest.
You can see that's a 12-gauge pump-action Mossberg shotgun. It's a .38 semi-automatic. He had at least 3 knives.
Allen appeared before a federal magistrate earlier and was formally charged with attempting to assassinate the president.
Fox's Jessica Rosenthal. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries reacting to the attempted shooting.
Political violence in any form directed at anyone, whether that's the right, the left, or the center, is unacceptable.
Jeffries is calling for the suspect to be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law. King Charles and Queen Camilla have arrived in Washington. The royals have several events this week to celebrate the 250th anniversary of the United States and the special relationship between the U.S. and U.K.
President Trump spoke a few days ago about this upcoming visit. He was asked whether or not it would repair some of the divisions, and he said, yes, I think it may well, because King Charles is someone I know very well and who is a fantastic fantastic man, and you often hear President Trump talking so warmly of the royal family.
Fox's Benjamin Hall. Charles is set to address a joint session of Congress tomorrow. Prosecutors say the suspect in the killing of 2 University of South Florida doctoral students from Bangladesh asked ChatGPT days before the couple disappeared about disposing of a body. America is listening to Fox News.
Life is full of challenges, but you don't have to face them alone. At intouch.org, you'll find powerful sermons from Dr. Charles Stanley, daily devotionals, and resources designed to strengthen your faith and bring hope into your everyday life. Whether you're searching for encouragement, biblical wisdom, or practical guidance, intouch.org is here to help you grow closer to God. Discover truth that speaks to your heart. Visit intouch.org today. Thanks.
Here he comes. Surprise! The people above your catering business are doing major construction, and the drilling is only during business hours.